Ooh. Wait, how do you do that?
Yeah, you wish you knew the powers of my... I don't know. Hold on.
Oh!
Space. Where's my lid?
Do you need the lid?
Of course I need the lid. It's a collection item. It needs the lid.
Why'd you have a mug with no liquid in it?
Yeah.
Yeah, why are you asking for a lid?
Why are you asking for a lid if you're not going to drink coffee?
Do you need coffee?
I need this air to be nice and cool.
I do actually, but also, you know, I think of this mug as a collector's piece, as should the viewers who bought it, and it should always have the lid on it.
Yeah, but there's...
You know, you don't have, like, Santa Claus without the red suit on, you know what I mean? Like, you don't have the Trash Taste mug without the lid.
Yeah, but well, you just got it on... You have, like, a coffee cup right there, and you have, like, a mug that's just unused.
There, get this out of here. Why is there a lid on the floor?
Did you drink the coffee not out of the Trash Taste mug?
No.
That's what I'm doing.
He's been doing that for a lot of...
I don't like transferring liquids from, like...
Fake Trash Taste fan.
I also want my Trash Taste mug.
Like transferring liquids.
I like the mug. Look at this man's mug. Look at this shit. How did you get this shit all on?
Do you know what? I've been drinking out of it.
Have you seen
this? This doesn't look like drinking. It looks like it's gone down half the mug. Used? You fucking slobbered all over it. Half the coffee's on the fucking mug.
Have you seen this man drink?
Yeah.
He doesn't know where his mouth is.
Garnt is like a person who used to be a dog in like another life, but just never forgot how to like.
He drinks like his mouth.
Are you kidding me? I would love to be a dog in my next life or this current life. Dogs have like the easiest fucking lives in existence. Dogs and cats, you just do nothing all day.
They piss, shit, and unconditionally love. That's all they do.
Right?
That's what a dog is.
I watched.
Have we done our intro yet?
No, we haven't.
Hi, this is the intro. Joey's the host.
Yes, hello Sonic fans. I'm Joey. Welcome to Trash Taste. I'm with Garnt and Connor.
Yeah, episode 69. This deserves more
more
of an intro than that.
I texted Felix earlier when we found out that this was episode 69 because little backstory. So Felix, PewDiePie, who we've been trying to get on the show, but can't come to Japan because obviously because of the world situation. So, but we hoped that by episode 69. Hopefully, he would have been able to come. Yeah. Obviously, he couldn't. So I texted him and said, "I'm sorry, man. Like we
didn't he like specifically say reserved episode 69?
Yeah. He was like, Joey, if I'm not on episode 69, I'm just not coming on.
Because I remember you telling me that in like episode 2 or 3 or something, just when Trash Taste started. Yeah. And I'm just like, are we even going to be around for episode 69? Are we even going to have an audience by then?
Yeah, I was like, wow, Felix, you're very, very like positive thinker to be like thinking 65 episodes ahead.
I was just like, I could even like envision episode 69 because I was just like, I'll be happy if we can last a year.
Yeah,
and,
honestly,
the podcast.
It's weird to think that we're probably going to reach 100 episodes.
That's scary, isn't it?
There's going to be like, which episode of Trash Taste with this in? Oh, it's 179 actually.
Yeah, right.
That's weird to think that could be a thing.
Scary.
Because like, when I see Joe Rogan, it's like episode 800 or something. I'm like, fuck.
But he doesn't he like record 3 episodes a week or something like that?
It's like once every 2 days.
Holy, they're like 4 hours long.
Yeah.
The man loves to talk, man.
Fuck. I thought I run out of topics to talk about.
Yeah, right?
Oh my God.
Just sitting through one episode of Joe Rogan really makes me appreciate just how much shit, A, he knows, and B, like, how good he is at, like, stretching out a single topic. Because, like, no, but seriously, because, like, after, like, 800-something episodes, 4 hours at a time, right? Like, you have to learn to, like...
I feel like when you're you do talk about current topics, and you very much get involved with politics.
But as well, like, even if it's not current topics, he's very good at, like, kind of, like, really extensively, like, going into a topic to the point where, like, a topic that can last maybe, 10 minutes on Trash Taste can last up to an hour on the Joe Rogan show.
People talk about
he's really stretching out that 15-minute mark.
Yeah, he's really he's really thinning out his content.
How many ads can we fit in here? No, I mean, when you're talking about politics, they suddenly turn what could be 2-minute conversations into 10-hour.
That is true. Yeah, maybe we should do that.
Are you fucking kidding me? Are you kidding me? I think the reason people come to watch Trash Taste is to escape political nonsense.
I come to Trash Taste to escape a lot of political nonsense.
Me too.
I'm just like, I just want to talk with the boys.
Everyone who talks about it, I feel like no one is educated enough about it. And so when everyone talks about it, I'm like, I don't know which level of education you need in this topic, but I feel that no one has enough because everyone seems to always have some fucking argument that I'm like, what? What the fuck is going on?
Right. And, like the problem with like a lot of political topics is
that the trash taste mugs?
Oh, are you going to drink water? No, drink coffee out of it? Sorry.
You bet your ass.
Yeah, okay. I'll take the lids as well. Give me the lids.
No, because I completely agree. Because a lot of the times there are some topics where you just genuinely don't know. You don't know which side to listen to because both sides are just at each other's throat, and I'm just like, I don't feel like
every time someone brings up some kind of political like conversation, because I just don't really care about politics in general, and B, I'm again not knowledgeable about it anyway.
Well, you don't care about politics in general. That's taking a stance in itself, Joey.
Yeah, wow,
that's,
right.
Like, that's privilege that you have to be able to not.
But like everything, like it doesn't matter what it is. It could be like the most far left thing. It could be the most far right thing. And my only two like answers is just, oh, that sucks, or oh, that's good, I guess.
Well, I keep up with it, but I do also really despise the era we're in where like it's like all like
everything is political.
Well, yeah, everything's
political. It's not that everything's political. It's like everyone has to be involved in it and has to be educated in it. And,
right. Like everyone needs an opinion.
I feel like the main players are all just like YouTubers, and I'm like, I don't trust YouTubers. I'm a YouTuber. I don't trust other YouTubers.
I don't trust myself.
Yeah,
and a lot of the shit I say.
I know.
Don't trust yourself.
I know what we're like, and I know for a fact that these people cannot be doing that good of a job. And when I listen to them, I'm like, okay, this is fine. To me, it's like. It's also been highly monetized now. I feel like money has become such a big player in it that I don't want to watch any of these people on YouTube tell me about why they believe X person has no rights or whatever. Because it's like you got a horse in this race to talk about it.
Yeah.
You got to get people angry and upset about it so you can get dollars.
There's something in it for you.
Exactly. Which is why I also hate it a lot, and I also just don't really like talking about it online because it's a shit show. And also, everyone has their own opinions.
It is a shit show, and like I just feel like some things are just better discussed in private with the person, because there's only so much you can say in 140 characters on Twitter, and that's unfortunately where a lot of these opinions are being spread, and that it's easy to one, misrepresent your own ideas, and two, other people to misrepresent your ideas
and take it out of context.
Yeah, and it's just it just seems like a lose-lose situation for me. And two, I don't know why it's just so bad, or why more people just don't agree that sometimes you just aren't educated enough, or you just don't know enough about a topic to just have an opinion on it.
Yeah, and you say that, and like, I feel like there's so many things now where we just have so much information on topics where, maybe someone can two parties can present the same the complete opposite argument, but there's enough information where they can kind of both make their point, because they have enough points that work with one person and enough points that work with the other. It's like, okay, well, I can get educated on all of it, and then when you do try and educate yourself on everything in a certain situation, you just realize I just hate all of this, and that everything is just fucked and nothing works.
Pretty much.
There's like no right answer.
What do I do? I've gotten to that point a lot of times where it's just like, how do I fix this problem? I have absolutely no fucking clue. I don't even know where to start. The more I read, the more depressed I feel.
And the rest of the world is like, first time? No one knows the answer. And that's why we're arguing.
It's like the whole thing with like the you should reduce your energy usage to help combat global warming. And then it's just the whole thing of, but then also like BP is like spilling the entire oil supply into like the ocean, and it's like, well, I feel like I'm like not really the problem. I feel like it's not really me. But then you say that, and people get angry, and then it's like, well, and then you're like, well, change it. We should vote against these companies, but that's been proven that doesn't really fucking work half the time, because clearly someone makes a new rule that they can go and
the whole game is busted. So no matter how many times you change the rules, it's just not going to turn out to be the game that you want to play. Right?
It sucks. It sucks. It all fucking sucks.
It does, and that's why we don't talk about it on Trash Taste.
It always goes to the negative for me, which is why I'm just like, I'm on Trash Taste with the boys. I just want to shut off the internet for a while.
I want to talk about how I want to be reincarnated as a dog.
Okay. It's okay to stop caring. There's just too much. There's way too much.
Yeah, because right now we're just so overloaded with informations and things to care about, right?
I literally got to like shit myself if somebody sneezed within 2 feet of me, and now I got to worry about what's going on. In like multiple countries now. I'm a UK. I live in Japan. I know
got to keep up with jewels. That's the biggest thing that's changed, right? Because before everyone only needed to care about what was around them, right? And now being people on the internet, I have to care about everything going on globally, and it gets to the point where there are so many different cultures, so many different points of view, so many different like experiences that each individual has had, that sometimes it's impossible for a lot of people to get the same like viewpoint on things, because even for us who've lived in like multiple countries and have had like experience with multiple cultures, like you can say we're cultured ourselves. as like saying this in like the pure unironic sense, because you get this sense whenever I go home or whenever I hear about any of us going home, and you see people who have stayed in their hometowns and you see people who have not left their hometowns, and they have the exact same viewpoint that they got raised on, right? And you know, and coming from that place, you kind of understand how they got that viewpoint, even if you don't agree with it, you know what I mean? But you also understand that they don't have anything to really change their viewpoint in there, because they've never experienced anything.
There's no like new information that comes in to like stimulate that change in thought process. So forever they just think, well, this is correct because this is what it was like around me. I don't know about anything else that's happening in the world, so this is just how I'm going to see the world. But then, you know, like for instance, like I remember like when I first came back to Australia after I was living here, and you know, I would go see like my friends and stuff like that who have been there like the entire time. Like I don't know, like things that I remember I used to be able to like very heavily relate with and like kind of almost agree upon. I found myself to be like, oh, is this how I felt? Like is this really what my thought process was like? And it's like, and it's so weird because like that didn't even happen in that much of a large space of time. Like that only maybe happened in like 2 years right, of just living here. And I think, you know, like definitely like doing YouTube and stuff like that has got me to interact with so many more different nationalities and, you know, cultures and stuff like that. Right? Yeah. You know, doing this job, like you're almost forced to be up to date with everything that's happening in the world, because you have people all over the world who are viewing you, right? So I have this weird pressure of being like, you know, I don't want this like one person from this one country coming into like my streams or whatever and being like, do you know what's happening in my country right now? And me going, no, I don't.
Yeah, you get that. Right? You're like, what do you think about the current gentrification of southeast Macau? And you're like, what the fuck?
It's like,
how the fuck would I know that?
What is Macau?
You get that a lot. You're like, you surely can't expect me to have a horse in this race. Please, come on.
I'm just kidding people from Macau. I know what Macau is. Okay. But like, that's the thing, right? It's like, you know, you're almost like pressured to be up to date on that kind of stuff, because you don't want to leave any of your viewers out and stuff like that. And so that causes you to just like, you know, it absorbs so much information about the world that when I go back to my hometown and I meet people who aren't up to date on that kind of stuff, who have completely different viewpoints of the world because the amount of information that they've absorbed about the world is on a different level. It's I don't know, it's like it's a bit of a whiplash to be like, oh, I can't believe I used to think like that. That's kind of weird.
I don't even know my own blood type, so I don't even expect people to like learn about like the outside. You know, how do people expect me to keep up with like weird news in some country I've never heard of?
I think you should be the one to know your own blood type.
I should. I have a blood disease as well. I should know that. But,
I have a blood disease. I don't know what my blood type is though.
I don't know.
Like, he seems pretty irresponsible. Yeah, right. You also had to do like a blood test here. Yeah. And you got shown your blood type. Yeah. Having said that, I don't know my blood type either, even though I've got the same document. What? I'm just as monkey brain as him, apparently.
I know it's in the alphabet. Like it's one of them.
It's in the alphabet.
It's one of the four.
What is your blood type? Sigma. Delta.
Alpha Sigma.
Alpha Sigma.
Decaf? I don't know, like I don't know, you know, and I do, you know, like you said, you do try and educate yourself on some things, but there's just like so much, you know, you can't be expected to keep up with so many things.
Like, here's a question then. Like, do you feel like there's a big difference between explaining to someone that's, you know, what kind of your perspective and actually like having the person really experience it and empathize with you? Because I feel like those are two different things.
Yeah, I can sit here. I could go back to Wales and explain Japanese culture all day, and they just won't understand it. They'll be like, exactly. Why would you do that? Why would you bow at every word? Why would you say excuse me every 10 seconds?
To me, it's kind of like very similar to, let's say, learning a language, where you can explain a language, you can explain grammar structures, and you can explain, you know, how the writing system and stuff works. But there's a difference between understanding how a language works and actually just absorbing it and really getting a feel for the language yourself. I know there's a word for it. language acquisition versus just, versus just like learning how it works on a logical sense. And I feel the exact same way when it comes to cultures and perspective, where there's been so many times where someone has told me about a perspective, right? And you logically like, yeah, I agree with that. They could be making the most sense, but then you kind of maybe move to the country that they're living in, or you go travel there, or you meet more people from that same culture, and you're like, oh, I think I actually get what you're talking about.
I think it's like, how when you're growing up and you hear about other countries and you think, oh, it's that funny little thing that country does. Like I know like they would probably do this about Japan a lot. They would just show things like sumo and they'd be like, oh, isn't that so strange?
There's big men in diapers pushing each other around.
It's like, it's one of those things, isn't it? But I think that when you get to experience more cultures, your mindset on when you see stuff like that changes a lot. Like you go from thinking, oh, that funny thing, that weird, strange thing, to thinking like, I'm sure there's a story behind it. I'm sure there's a history, there's a culture behind it.
I definitely felt that, especially after I started dating Aki and, through YouTube meeting a lot of like Americans, because like in Australia, the image of America is not that glamorous or like positive in any way. Like, I'm just saying it straight up, like, like
I don't think the image of Americans in America is a lot of Americans are often like the first people to bash their own country.
Exactly.
I love you, America.
Yeah, but like,
it depends on where they're from.
Yeah, it depends. Yeah, but like after, actually going to America and talking to Americans and stuff like that, that completely flipped open, and I realized, the problem was just kind of my environment that was pushing that agenda, and the media that I consumed that was kind of pushing this sort of negative agenda about American culture and stuff like that. But then when you actually go and you live it out, you see it firsthand, and you see everything else that they don't show, and you're like, oh, actually, it's not as like insane or wacky as like the TV shows or the shit my friends were talking about make it out to be.
Yeah, but like I remember when I first started dating Sydney, right? I remember we like. When we first met and first started dating, I remember early on, because she mentioned this to me the other day. I asked her, so what, like, out of curiosity, what do you actually think about America, right? And she was like, oh, greatest country in the world. And I remember
was she dead ass?
No, she was dead. Okay. She came from like imagine it. She came from like a small town in the Midwest where
when you first started.
Yeah, when I first started dating.
Yeah, right.
5-6 years ago.
Right.
Shit, 7 years ago now actually. But it was a long time ago. And I remember that was the first time she had basically like traveled out of America. And she came from a very small town in the Midwest who got raised with the values that you would expect a small town to get raised in. And I remember she said, "Oh yeah, America is the greatest country in the world, obviously." And I remember apparently she said, I was just like like that, and she said to me at the time, she got like genuinely offended, right? she straight up she got like genuinely angry at me at the time for doing that. She was like, what do you mean, why? And then why did you make that sound? She said to me. And I was like, so what constitutes the greatest country? And why is America the greatest country? And she was like, oh, land of the free, isn't it? We got freedom. And I was about to say, second, I'm like, because like,
I was about to say, I was like, if she's about to drop the freedom bomb, like, I don't know what I can say to that.
No, because it's to me at the time, it was just like living up to the stereotypical patriotic American. Because like America is a good country, but like my issue is the more I travel, the more I'm just like, is there a greatest country in the world? And there's no way you can define the greatest country in the world. And
otherwise everyone would be living there.
Yeah, exactly. Right. And to me, patriotism as a British person is just so weird. Like you see it, I see like American patriotism where, not saying every American like this, but like especially some of the Americans I met who were raised in small towns, especially when I go back to Sydney's hometown, it's just you see kind of like this culture that's been and this idea that's just been propagated through the small town, and there's not really been any other perspective to really change that perspective. By their like they probably believe that America is the greatest country in the world, and there is no other thing that can challenge that. And it's just I can't blame them for that.
No, of course
and
not.
I'm not even saying America isn't the greatest country in the world. I'm just saying that because their belief has been permeated so deeply that there's been nothing to really break that mold for them. And it took years for Sydney to really kind of change her perspective. It didn't take like just one trip to England. It took years for her traveling to living with me in England and living with me in Thailand and living with me in Japan for her to like really open up her perspective to be like, you know what, maybe there are some other good places in the world as well. Maybe some other places do things as good. And now she has recently just gone back to America to visit her family. And she's like, wow, I really don't fit in here anymore.
Really?
Yeah, that's it felt weird because she told me that she just didn't feel like as settled as she used to be, just because she feels like an outsider almost.
Yeah.
I definitely got that when I was back in Wales last time. I don't know. It's I love my hometown and I love my friends, but you definitely feel like because you've been doing so many things and exploring so many different cultures, you definitely feel like, God, I must sound like that weird fucking GAPS student who come back. Like, I've traveled the world now. I'm better than all of you.
It's because I really don't want to sound like that.
No, but it does open your perspective a lot, and you do think like, oh shit, like it really does make you look at stuff in your tiny town a lot different, and how homogenous it is.
The tiny town just feels so much more tinier. Weirdly. And it's like, and again, like I don't blame like Sydney or anyone from like the small towns who think that way, because again, like I feel especially in America, it really is just like kind of enclosed when it comes to the information that you can get about the rest of the world. Like it still blows my mind that like in America, for example, like 24-hour news channels are a thing, but it's not world news. It's American news for 24 hours. And I'm like, what? It's just insane to think like this. For one, there's so much news happening in America that you can just constantly run news stories. But also like there's just so little access or ease of access to information outside of America.
Same in the UK though, really. We get trickle downs from America. We don't really get to see a lot of inside America. Like a lot of British people don't really know many of the states outside of the very famous ones.
Oh, well, I'm sure it's the same in Australia as well, though.
Stuff like that. And we have very rudimentary knowledge of outside of Europe, really.
But do you guys have like world news on your TV?
Yeah,
we do.
But like world news is just mostly... It's mostly the Middle East conflict. That
stuff that we fucked up, really. Stuff that we had a hand in.
Yeah, fair enough.
It's rare that we hear anything about Japan or Asia in general. That's like something massive.
Well, because of the Olympics normally. But because BBC scarcely reports on Japan. Like I have the BBC app and I used to have like the Japan section. They don't do like an article every like 3 days on Japan.
Oh, really?
And it'd probably be quite high profile stuff in Japan.
Yeah.
Or very wacky. Whoa. They open up a new store with M&Ms. Whoa. Yeah. But also I do think as well, the fact that a lot of people think, one of the reasons why people probably think America is terrible is, in the UK and also in Japan, I feel this as well. A lot of this like bad stuff and injustices, if you will, in the UK and I think Japan as well, probably don't get as much spotlight as they do in America. And also everything is fucking filmed in America.
True.
Literally everything is on camera in America. True. So like I feel like it's way easier to catch the stuff that makes your country look fucking insane.
Yeah.
When there's cameras all the fucking time capturing everything. I feel like one of the main reasons why we see so many insane stuff for America looks good and you hear about all these horrible injustices that have been done is because there's just so much video and there's so much attention brought to it by the media.
I mean, it's also as well the fact that like, just simply the population difference is one thing as well. But it's also, again, it's just like that whole cultural mentality or I guess like group mentality of like, it's me versus the world. Not so much because like, it's very much an individualistic society where it's like, I'm the center.
I think we have that in the UK as well to some extent.
I think the UK way more. I think it's definitely that's definitely one of the biggest differences between East and West that I've felt living in both different places.
Yeah. And like, whereas in Japan, it's like, oh, I don't want to stick out too much because otherwise a camera might get stuck on me.
But it's hard, right? Because on one hand, you get a society where, everyone's comfortable, nobody oversteps their boundaries, but everyone's fucking miserable.
Exactly.
So it's like, you can't have this utopian ideal Japan without also having a depressed society where no one can have fun.
And I feel that's like the problem right now is that like, regardless of if you're an individualistic society versus a collective society, there's still shit that happens.
Yeah, like the stuff I love about the UK is also, I'm near certain the stuff that I love is also the reason why we have a lot of the stuff I don't like about the UK.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
I mean, same thing with Japan, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
So it's you don't get the good things without the bad things.
There's no perfect country. I think
there's no perfect country, and I don't think there's a perfect
Denmark's
system
just like,
either.
hello, allow me to.
Switzerland is like.
But also, I love that. I read an article that was like, people who live in Denmark that are unhappy are extremely unhappy because they're supposed to be the happiest country on earth.
Right.
Yeah.
So the people who get sad there or their life isn't going the way they want, they feel more depressed because they're supposed to be in the happiest
everyone
place
around them is happy.
Yeah, because they're supposed to be in the happiest place on earth.
Right,
You can't fucking win. Like, no matter what goes wrong, you can't win. But I think obviously if that also depends on if you can afford to be healthy and all that stuff. So that all changes. Obviously.
Yeah,
being healthy is pretty good. Huh? This video is sponsored by ExpressVPN.
Did you ever read the fine print that appears when you start browsing in incognito mode?
No, I don't think I did.
Well, it says that your activity might still be visible to your employer, your school, or your internet service provider. How can they even call it incognito? It's okay, Connor. You can stop crying.
Okay.
Because to really stop people from seeing the sites you visit, you need to do what I do. Get ExpressVPN.
Holy shit, everything's fixed.
Think about all the times you've used Wi-Fi at a coffee shop, a hotel, or even your parents' house.
Oh my god.
Without ExpressVPN, every site you visit could be logged by the admin of that network.
Oh god.
And that's still true even if you use incognito mode.
What's more, I just found out that your home internet provider can also record your browsing data. And in the US, they're legally allowed to sell that data to advertisers? What is it? And ExpressVPN is the app that encrypts all of your network data and reroutes it through a network of secure servers so that your private online activity stays just that private. Holy shit! Oh my god, ExpressVPN also works on all of your devices.
Hell yeah.
The app literally has one button, you tap to connect to it, and your browsing activity is secured from prying eyes. So stop letting strangers invade your online privacy. Protect yourself at expressvpn.com/trashtaste. Use our link at expressvpn.com/trashtaste to get 3 extra free months free. That's expressvpn.com/trashtaste to learn more.
I can't handle.
Back to the episode.
Are you guys patriotic?
No.
Only in like sport, I guess.
To Wales?
Yeah.
Wales,
Like pretty much
yes.
the most patriotic I get is towards sports.
Yeah.
I think.
But like you have to okay, so I think Wales patriotic and being in the UK is a very different.
how often do you get to be patriotic about Wales?
Anytime England fucks up,
That's basically
You're
right.
just like,
basically,
I'm not.
Yeah, exactly.
Basically.
So that's what I'm saying. It's not patriotism in Wales is not like the rest of the world patriotism where it's
No.
like go us. It's just fuck England.
Yeah,
Like, that's-
I feel like that's just
literally
that's
all
just
it is.
Wales, Scotland, and Irish,
Yeah.
like Northern Irish patriotism.
Right, that's why I
Yeah.
feel like UK patriotism is a completely different brand to other.
Yeah.
Because it's we get very proud of Welsh people, obviously, but we get the most proud when it is to the detriment of England.
Yeah.
So when people are like, oh, you're like English there, right? It's like, no, I'm not even. I have no. There's absolutely nothing about me that is English. I'm British and Welsh, but not English.
Yeah.
Like, so
Yeah.
a lot of people always like, that's English, right? That's no. I despise, but I despise it in a very fun way.
Yeah,
it's
of
very
course.
much like we get
tongue
to,
in cheek.
Yeah.
Way, right?
there's a lot of fun stories.
It's a bit of banter, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you watched Archer, the TV show?
Little bits of it, yeah.
Yeah, there's a really weird thing that just completely caught me off guard. So they did an episode about like a very famous Welsh event that happened, and it was very weird that Archer, an American comedy TV show, did this.
Yeah.
So there's a thing called Tryweryn in Wales,
Right.
and it's a small town that no longer exists.
Okay.
Because Liverpool, which is a city in England,
Yeah.
wanted a reservoir. So their
Okay.
solution to getting a reservoir was to just flood this town so they could get water.
Holy shit.
I shit you not. So they had to evacuate. They literally just made people just move.
Wow.
England.
Okay.
And Welsh people weren't allowed to vote on whether this was...
Yeah. So they had no say.
They had no say.
Right.
So they just flooded this town called Tryweryn and turned it into a reservoir. Turned out they didn't even need it in the end. And they killed like 4 people as well because some people refused to leave.
Holy shit.
So they flooded it. Genuinely, you can go there. It's depressing as fuck because they're just like buildings underneath this reservoir. Like, and there's a bunch around the area. Is a ton of like remember Tryweryn and stuff like that. And it's seen as one of the most like injustices that were done to Wales.
Well, yeah, that's pretty.
It's fairly
pretty
recent,
shitty.
fairly recent as well.
How recent are we talking?
I think 60s. Can you Google it? It's like 60s, 80s around that time. I think just Tryweryn, Tryweryn.
I'm pretty sure that's just the plot to Higurashi, isn't it? Yeah, I think so. Like didn't in Higurashi they were like going to build a dam and then there were like protests to like stop the people from getting
reservoir out. So English people could drink water. And then they didn't even use it. Like it's like what the fuck? And then also Archer just did an episode about it.
That's so weird.
That's so weird. They did a whole thing of like they were like
patriotic.
Yeah.
1965.
Yeah, 65. They had like a whole joke about it because like they were like it's one of the most injustice, and they were all like nah, don't worry about it. It's like it's an injustice.
Wow.
That's something everyone needs to care about.
That is something. Now you're all educated on True Adam. I mean, that's the very basic story. There's a lot more. Yeah. There's other people who can tell a more in-depth story.
I feel like when you're from a small nation that just doesn't get a lot of attention from the world media in general, because that's me whenever like Thailand gets mentioned anywhere. Right. Like I'm just happy if like Thailand is just brought up in any kind of capacity. I'm just everyone knows my country now. That's
I love it though. They get like insanely excited. Like anything happens. Like they're just insane. It's great.
I remember when I went
that passionate about anything.
Yeah, right. I remember when I went to a con in Singapore.
And they're like shouting at you in public.
Yeah, no. Yeah, that one. But like I remember I did a panel there, and all I literally said was "Hello Singapore," and I've never heard a crowd of people like crying and screaming. It was as if like fucking Elvis Presley came on stage and like said their country's name. It was like he said the country name.
Ladies and gentlemen, Singapore.
Honestly, the Singapore convention was like crazy.
That was insane.
Definitely the most.
I wasn't invited. I wasn't invited.
I mean, I wasn't invited. I was just there for the ride.
Just there
because
I was. We weren't tied at this point. When I wasn't. We knew each other. I was and plus I was on the other side of the world.
So. I was already in Thailand.
He was literally just next door.
Yeah, he's like, I'm gonna pop down to Singapore.
No, the guy literally texted me and was like, "Oh, you're in Singapore? Finna pop down for a quick second."
It's so weird sometimes where what we are as Southeast Asians are proud of sometimes because it's like I swear to God, every time I meet a fellow Southeast Asian from a different country, we get competitive over like the weirdest things, right? Because the first thing we compare is how shit it is to drive on our roads. Yeah. Like, I don't know why we do that.
It's like, yo, you're still alive? Nice.
No, why is it just like, oh, this one time in Bangkok, I was in traffic for 1 hour. You think 1 hour's bad? When I was in Jakarta, it was a 3-hour traffic jam once. And I'm just like, thinking about this, I'm just like, why are we comparing? This is like the weirdest dick size comparison I can think of.
Oh, you survived 2 car crashes? Yeah. I survived 4. It's like, that's not something to be proud of.
Because I was just like,
I caused all of them.
Because after living in 2 years, Sydney just went around to other people being like, Thailand is like second on like the most dangerous place to drive in the world.
Right.
And I lived there, and I'm just like, Sydney, why are you boasting about that?
You didn't even drive there, right?
Why didn't even drive?
Why are we boasting about that?
She's saying all this like in the passenger seat.
It's like how I went to go to my university town was like #1 for like heroin usage in the UK, and we were like, number 1, number 1, most heroin addicts,
heroin number 1,
Wales, let's go. Like where I grew up was like #1 for like teen pregnancy in the UK as well. Yeah. And that was just like a fact. They were like, good, be proud of it. Be proud of it.
We're finally #1 in something.
So all of your parents here are still teenagers. Congratulations.
That's kind of what it's like in a small town. Yeah. I just realized that's exactly the same way as where Sydney comes from. Because the first thing she boasts about from like Wisconsin is just like 2 things. We're like cheese. We're like #1 in cheese, beers, and serial killers. I'm just like, I don't think that's a good thing, Sydney.
Being #1 in cheese in the US is not that's like saying, you're #1 landlocked country in like some fucking, I don't know, town. I don't know. Oh, fuck, that's a terrible comparison. But like,
I know what you mean. It's like, it's not something to be wow, amazing. I mean, what is amazing is the fact that fucking that state is the most serial killers. Like that's pretty impressive, honestly.
I liked the Midwest. It's pretty chill.
Where have you been in the Midwest?
I really like Minnesota.
Minnesota, really?
It's probably my favorite state I've been to in the US.
I got deported from there. Thanks, Minnesota.
Well, I don't know about you. I had a very warm welcome in Minnesota.
Oh, I did not.
I was not deported.
God, I wish that was me.
Connor they bring out the red carpet. They're like, yes, sir, C.VA.
Go ahead. It's like, your passport? No, we don't need to check that. Go right in.
Oh, Mr. Anime Man, welcome to Minnesota. Get the fuck out.
You said they were really, really nice though when they were deporting you, though?
No, they were nice because they weren't nice about it, at least. They were like, hey, it's not your fault, man. It happens all the time kind of thing. But you also have to fly immediately to Amsterdam and then from Amsterdam back to Tokyo.
Are you allowed to say why you got deported? Is that like something you're allowed to talk about?
Just visa mix-ups, basically. I mean, like, you know.
got the wrong visa, right?
Yeah, basically, I had the wrong visa. Apparently, I asked the immigration officer in Minnesota. He was like, yeah, this happens all the fucking time.
God.
So it's like, you are definitely not in the wrong for not knowing this shit. Like, it is really confusing. But he's like, just go home, get this particular visa, and then you'll be good for like the next 10 years at least. I'm like,
sounds really cool saying you got deported.
Yeah.
Sounds like you like
until you get deported.
Yeah. I'm sure getting deported wasn't cool. You know?
No. Getting deported wasn't cool, but the fact that I literally flew around the world in 48 hours.
Yeah.
You just did a fucking speed run.
I did basically speed ran like around the world.
Yeah, what the fuck took them 80 days the first time? You know what I mean? Like, you did it in 2.
Just get deported, bro. So I used the
around the word deportation hack.
I used the deported skip right here.
The first time I went to the US, I didn't know you needed the visa.
Right.
I was like, what? So what happened was just that
we did need a visa before.
No, we did. We needed the ESTA.
But that was introduced pretty recently.
Yeah, the ESTA before the ESTA you didn't need it.
Really?
Yeah. The first time I went to America, you didn't need an ESTA.
How long ago was this?
ESTA was like 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah, something like that. It was within my lifetime that the legislation changed.
Well, because you've been traveling through Europe all my life, and I just assumed you just turn up where you want to go with your passport.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense, yeah.
So I didn't know that, and so I booked my flight to the US. This is when the ESTA was a thing.
Yeah.
Which is bullshit, because America can come to the UK. No documentation needed, just a passport.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
When we have to go to America, we have to get this ESTA nonsense, right?
Yeah.
So I'm getting all my stuff ready. This is my first flight ever to America. I'm on my own. I'm like, oh my God. And then it's like midnight, and my flight's at like 9 a.m. My dad came in my room. He's like, "Did you get the visa?" I'm like, "What? What do you mean?" Yeah, you got to get a visa. I'm like, no one told me this. How do I get the visa? I'm like 19 as well.
Yeah,
so I'm like, I've never heard of this.
Yeah.
When do I have to get a visa?
Yeah.
And luckily, apparently you're supposed to get it 3 days before.
Yeah, you are.
3 days. But yeah.
Like more than 3 days before.
Yeah, but luckily it came in 15 minutes online.
Yeah,
so I was very lucky. I also did that in Japan as well. That was very...
Yeah, Aki had to do that at the airport once because like she realized her ESTA had run out.
God, you just have a really shit track record at getting into countries.
So yeah, I
losing your passport before we go to Japan.
Oh
or
yeah, I remember that.
I totally forgot because it only lasts for 2 years. When you go to the US, you have to get from most countries, and also Canada if you get one too.
Yeah,
you have to just apply for a thing called Nesta. It costs $15. You do it online. If your passport is like normal, you have like no criminal record or anything, you should get it in like 15 minutes.
Yeah, like immediately.
But do it 3 days just in case. That's why they suggest you. Yeah, and it lasts 2 years. And when I moved to Japan, I was going to go to San Francisco, and I totally forgot it expired until I was on the way to the airport when I realized it had expired. So I was applying for it on my phone on the way, and luckily, right before I was about to check in, I just got it. And so I was like, nice.
That's goal split right there.
Yeah, I told my company, I'm like, hey, I forgot to get the ESTA. They were like, what? What? And I was like, yeah. So I applied for it. It should be fine. Yeah. We'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see. Luckily, it all worked out.
At least you weren't like on the plane when you realized that.
Yeah.
It's weird though because they don't ask me for it, and they don't ask me for they don't ask you for the ESTA at any point. So I wonder, is it just on like a system? And
they only ask you for it when you're immigrating into the country that you just landed in.
No, they ask. They
really?
should. What airline did you fly with?
I don't know, British Airways or something. They've never asked me for it.
Really?
Because I normally get asked when I'm queuing up to check in if I have a visa.
Yeah,
they
never asked me that.
Because I literally have
really? I've never been
maybe I'm just so charming. They're like, no, go in.
Of course, this charming man
they see the brown man and they're just like, oh, excuse me, sir.
Like the Family Guy skin color thing.
Excuse me, sir. Do you have a visa to get into our country?
Shit. This is me showing my privilege right now. Fuck.
No, but like especially coming from having dual citizenship in UK and Thailand, it's just like it just makes me realize, man, we are very privileged to have certain passports because it is literally just some passports are completely useless and you need.
Yeah, Japan is like the most OP passport.
Most powerful passport in the world.
But only like 20% of people have them here. Can you believe that?
Yeah.
The fucking audacity.
And also, there's so many like weird other rules that come with it. And also, and again, it's like, as you were saying, it's the most powerful passport in the world, and yet barely any Japanese people fly out of Japan because the tourism industry here is just so powerful.
Yeah. Go on, sorry, I interrupted you.
I completely forgot what I was going to say. I was just going to say that some passports are like pretty OP and like that makes me jealous of your Japanese passport because you can get in like what can Japan get in without a visa that the UK can't?
I'm sure there's
I'm sure there's a lot of places.
Moon, I'll put it on the screen. Obviously, we'll not be bothered to look.
I don't think about this. But I think like in the UK, it's something like 70 to 80% of people have a passport. In America, it's like 40
it was
or 50.
so weird for me going to a country and just like meeting people without a passport.
Yeah, everyone just has one in the UK.
Yeah.
Everyone I know has one.
Yeah.
In Australia as well, like almost everyone has one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it's just like a difference in culture, right? Because like I couldn't imagine not having a passport. You know,
what are you going to go and do in the UK? Just go to like a field and be like, sick. This is great vacation.
Or I could
also
get a passport, go to another country, and go to that field.
Yeah, exactly. But like, there's...
Have you seen our beaches?
It's
amazing.
Sure.
As someone who's grown up in Brighton, we have amazing beaches. You want sand beaches? No, we got stone beaches.
Stone beaches.
You can't even walk on it.
UK tourism is the most depressing thing on earth. Like, it's just shit. It's
what would you recommend to someone who's never been to the UK?
When people come to the UK, no, go to London. But this is the thing, right? Is that the reason why I think the UK works as a tourist destination is because you don't know anything about it.
Yeah.
When you know about the UK, it's a terrible place.
I think most people's imaginations of the UK is the Queen, Harry Potter, and...
Well, that's the thing is that if you go to London, you get a very sanitized view of London, of the UK, and you can have a great time because you only see London. And London is like very well kept.
The charming part.
Yeah, it's very well. All the fucking money's in London.
True.
I'd say some of the countrysides are pretty good as well.
Yeah, which is why I really appreciate it when I meet people who like love castles and love going around Wales and stuff like that. I'm like, nice.
Oxford is fun.
Oxford's nice. Yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, if you want to go to the countryside, though, I'd say Ireland is better. Ireland's fucking beautiful.
I've been to the countryside.
And they got
Ireland.
so many castles.
Wales,
nice.
Wales is good.
Patriotism showing there.
Yeah, exactly.
I remember when I first found out that people just didn't live near castles. I thought that was weird when I first found that out.
Yeah, I mean,
I lived near 3 castles growing up, and I was like,
see, like out of context, that sounds so fucking privileged.
Why? What are you gonna do with it? What's not my castle?
Well, no, but that's the thing. But that's the thing. Like, it's like that. If you said that to a Japanese person, they'd be like, "Oh, what are you, like the Prince of Wales?"
No, it's just because there's so many fucking castles in the UK.
Right.
One of them was very dangerous and run down, and like climbing it was just like a safety hazard. I don't know how it's still allowed to go and do it, but there's one really cool castle near me. It's like called Conwy Castle.
I feel Wales to castles is very much Japan to temples.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, maybe.
Because like I think if you said to someone who has like no idea of like Asian culture or anything like that and said like, oh yeah, there's like 3 temples around my house, they'd be like, whoa, you fucking bougie motherfucker.
Japan did have a lot of castles. They were just burnt down.
Well, yeah, most of them are gone. Yeah.
There's a really big one in Kochi. There's a massive one.
Yeah.
It's really fucking cool.
A lot of them though are recreations.
Yeah,
that were like built much later. I think there's only like a handful of castles like from that time that are still standing.
Well, a lot of the ones in the UK are run down as well. Like the out of the 3 near me, one of them is well kept, and that's mainly for tourist reasons.
Right.
And the other 2 are completely run down and just but it's cool that it's a bunch of rubble.
But you can buy that, right? Like you can purchase that as property.
Some of them you can.
Some places you can.
Normally the big ones you can't. They're normally heritage sites, so you can't buy them. They're like public.
And at that point, the people who buy just buy it for a flex because who actually lives in a castle nowadays?
I believe I read something about France or something has the most abandoned castles and the most castles for sale out of like any country.
Oh, really?
Apparently, you can just buy chateaus and castles and all nonsense.
That's pretty bougie.
All right, you say UK is good for travel, or
no, I didn't. I'd never said that.
Well, what did you say? You say come to the UK.
He said just go to London.
Go to London. Yeah. Okay. Well, okay. Genuine question. Someone's coming to travel to the UK. Right. You want to show them British culture. What do you say? What do you take them to?
First of all, the one question you have to ask someone who comes to the UK is, do you drink alcohol?
Do you drink?
Yeah, of course.
And if you don't, you're gonna have a bad time.
You can either have it. If you love a beer, you love drinking with people, you can have a 2-week trip and you have a great time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't drink alcohol, here's a 3-day criteria.
If you don't drink alcohol, I hope you like castles.
I'm like, I genuinely think, because you can do nearly everything in London that's worth seeing in one day.
Like 1 or 2 days.
1 or 2 days.
Two
days
chilled out
if you don't want
deals.
to rush.
Right.
But like all the major things are within walking distance of each other. So
do you take them to like the tourist sites and everything like that?
Yeah, very fast. I'm like, here's Buckingham Palace. Have a look. All right, here's the Big Ben. Have a look. It's shit. Don't pay it. It's like $90 to go on it. It's a rip off. Don't do it. It's shit.
When we went, it was in fucking scaffolding.
Yeah, right.
So I didn't even get to see it.
London Eye. Sorry, London Eye. Shit. Big Ben looks pretty cool actually. I like it. But normally it's like you want to see Big Ben, we can go and drink in the park in front of Big Ben.
Yeah,
and do that.
Yeah, that's cool.
There's the arcade that's now closing.
It's closed now. Yeah.
Is that the one with Shrek at the front?
Yeah. It's like
that's an arcade.
There was a Namco Funscape. There was a shit arcade. It was alright, but it's closing. But it was the only arcade. What else can you do in London?
Don't know.
Maybe take them on the boat.
On the boat?
So you know how there's public transport, there's the tube. Part of the network is a boat. There's a boat
like a ferry system
that you can just cross the that goes from I think Greenwich to Westminster or something.
Yeah.
Greenwich. I really like taking people to Greenwich. Greenwich is a really nice area. You can go and I can be like, look, here's where time started.
Yeah, that's all I know about Greenwich.
It's a very nice area, actually. It's really well done.
There's like a warship in Belfast in front of the...
Wait, Belfast's like 6 hours away. You can't go to Belfast.
The warship,
Cuddy Sark.
It's right in front of the, not Palace, what's that? Right next to the bridge.
Greenwich?
It's not Greenwich. Where
You're talking about the SSS Belfast?
Yeah.
Oh, that one. I don't know that one either.
There's if you go to Greenwich as well, there's a massive boat that's been restored on land.
Cool.
A pirate ship. It's fucking massive.
Damn.
They actually collab with us, really.
They should. The UK government should hire me. I'll make.
What would you add?
Spoons. Go to Weatherspoons.
Tesco meal deal.
Tesco meal deal.
Honestly, I would take them to Spoons as well.
Spoons is great.
You did take us to Spoons.
Yeah, I did.
The thing is, right, is that...
Yeah, I should just ask you, Joey. Where did we take you again?
No, we did shit with Joey. It was terrible.
Yeah.
We went to the Shrek arcade and Spoons.
Oh, we went to the fucking gaming bar as well.
The gaming bar.
The gaming bar.
It was literally just a pub with a Wii in it. That's all.
You were a game in that bar.
British culture, man.
Yeah.
It's just
like sick.
Because pubs in London are where all the best food are as well.
Yeah.
All the best food.
To be fair, that pub did have some good food.
No, because the way I see it, right? Because the way I see it, when I go travel to a place, I very rarely want to go to the big tourist spots, right?
I just want to eat.
Yeah, I want good places. I want cool places to see, but just not the here's just a landmark that everyone takes a fucking picture around.
Yeah.
I just want cool local places. And as someone who lived in London for close to 3 years, if it doesn't revolve around alcohol, I don't know the cool places to take people.
Oh, there's afternoon tea. Afternoon tea.
Oh, afternoon tea. Actually,
the home of afternoon tea.
Yeah,
of course.
Of course. I completely forgot about afternoon tea. That's pretty much the only part of British food that I'm just yep. Afternoon tea fucking slaps.
To be fair, I feel Australia would be the exact same thing if it wasn't for the fact that we have some of the best beaches in the world.
Yeah.
Because at least we can take you to the beach.
You got it easy, man.
Yeah, but if you don't like beaches, then I hope you like drinking because we're going to be doing a lot of that.
Yeah, it's kind of hard. I've had friends, normally Americans, who are like, no, I don't drink, and I'm like, I honestly don't know what to do. I can show you Big Ben.
I have the same thing when friends come to Australia and I have to take them around a couple of times. I'm like, do you want to see Sydney Opera House?
I swear, I'm not an alcoholic, but it's just the culture. I don't know what to do.
That's kind of why I wanted to move out of England, because it just felt like if you didn't drink, then there was nothing else to do to have fun or just
also,
chill out. That's a big thing.
No one does anything on weekdays in the UK. Weekdays are strictly for working and then going home and being depressed. That's all you do.
No, I feel that's
no one goes out in the UK. It's always the weekend.
Oh, really? Even after work?
No one really goes out.
Really?
Yeah, I'd agree with
it's
that.
normally older people. They normally will go after the pub after work when they're 40s because they're.
Well, I would have you know, some people go to the pub after work.
No, I know. If I worked in an office, I would love to go. But I was a YouTuber. No one wanted to go out in the weekday. So
right.
It was an absolute uphill battle trying to get people to do anything in the UK.
So you have to wait till the weekend for that.
Yeah, so I never did anything during the week in the UK. I just worked on videos, I think, and played video games. I don't really know what I did. I don't know what I did in London.
What did I do?
What did I do in London? I don't know. I went to coffee. We have really good cafes.
Do we?
Yeah, we do.
Compared to Europe?
We were in Europe.
You guys are Europe.
We were Europe.
Well, we're not in Europe anymore.
Yeah, because it's easy to get stuff from Italy and whatever.
That's true. That's true.
That's one thing I miss about that sucks about Japan is that importing anything from Europe is 20 times the price.
Well, yeah.
It's like a block of cheese that I would pay £10 for in the UK imported from France is now, which is seen as a luxury expensive item.
Fucking first time I was in Australia. It's literally other side of the planet.
It's depressing. I bought a wine bottle and I looked at it. and it was like £30 in the UK.
Yeah.
And it was like £90 here in Japan. And I was
Jesus
like,
Christ.
fuck.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Well,
Which is like such a like flip to when someone's going to come visit us in Japan, because like when a friend comes to visit in Japan, you're just like, what kind of experience do you want? Because
You can do anything.
you can do anything
Yeah.
here.
It's
No
like, do
matter
you want to
what-
see nature? Do you want to see the city? Do you want to see culture?
Yeah.
Did you ever
What do you
get
want?
sick ushering people around Japan? Because you were always the go-to guy who had to take people around Japan.
Yeah, I was. But after a while, it depends who I'm with. Like if I'm with like a person who I'm not like like super buddy with, then obviously I want them to have a good time and have a good impression. But if I'm just like it's just like a fucking mate from school or whatever, then I used to do this thing where I would take them to all these places, but then pretend I couldn't speak a word of Japanese just to piss them off. Because I was like, I don't want to be the translator this week. So you know what? Let's see how you like it. So we would go to a restaurant and I would be reading the menu and I'd be like, ego menu onegai shimasu, and just fucking pretend that I was foreigner. Because if I don't speak Japanese, they'll never fucking know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they was just like, come on, Joey, just fucking help us. Help me translate this fucking thing. And I was like, Nihongo wakaranai, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Japan is just like local guide easy mode.
Yeah.
Right? You can fucking you go to like a fucking family mart and they like blow their minds.
Yeah, right? Like I just take them like Ikebukuro and it's done for the day.
Yeah, I know, right? You can literally
It's
just go
so
to
easy.
one place
Yeah.
in Tokyo, and that's their entire itinerary done for the day.
Yeah, honestly.
Time to a ramen place. Like, oh my god, it's ramen.
Yeah, it's like,
my God.
but that's the thing, right? If you take them to like Shibuya, you're easily like 2 days you could spend there.
Yeah.
If you take them to Akihabara, that's a whole day again. You take them to Akihabara.
Akihabara is like several days.
Yeah, that's
Because you go
true.
there for one day and they're like, "Yo, can we go back to Akihabara, please?
I miss when I thought Akihabara was like super fun and amazing.
You don't
I
think
miss
so
that
anymore?
as well.
Well, just because all the figures, you know that the prices are always cheaper elsewhere.
I've just found that the
Online.
more times I've gone to Akihabara, the more I realize that there's just so much cool hidden shit there that really, if you're not there with someone who knows the area really well, it really just does seem like here's the place to buy anime figurines. Here's the place to buy weird shit.
Yeah.
I just don't have the time to
Also-
explore it anymore.
Yeah, that's true.
Also, nearly all the restaurants I've been to in Akihabara are like severely disappointing.
Fucking awesome. I mean, it's awful. Awful. I
was
said
like,
awful.
I've had probably the worst meals in Japan consistently in Akihabara.
Yeah, same
Well,
here.
I don't
mean,
know
yeah.
why. I think because it's just on the front, and then everyone's like, "Come in our store."
Well, that's the thing. It's like no one really thinks to themselves, "Oh, I want a really nice meal. Let's go to
Also,
Akihabara."
I hate the maids who are like, "Come in our store, please, please, please,"
Yeah, that is really annoying.
and they're like, "Ego daijobu," and I'm like, "Fuck off."
Like,
I don't
if
say
it's
that.
Daijobu, then get this.
Of course I don't say
Fuck
that.
off.
I'm British. I say it in my head. I'm like, please leave me alone.
Human interaction. Get out of here. Get out of here.
Be gone, thought.
One time we walked past and there was a maid that was like, "Joey?" Do you remember that?
No.
It was, we were there. She started like screaming like at one of the maids.
What's a mate? Well, who recognized me?
Yeah. She
I
was-
don't remember
When
that.
you
What's
don't-
this? How do you remember this?
Wait, no, actually what happened was I was with you. We were walking and I saw the girl looking at you
Yeah.
and we kept on walking and then I just heard her go, "Joey?"
Oh yes, I do.
And I feel like you didn't pay any attention. You were like, whatever, and just kept walking. And then I was like, "Lamau."
I do remember that actually because it's like, yeah, I heard her say my name, but I thought like I didn't hear it as my name until I walked past her, and then in process I was like, I think she was calling my name, but then at that point it was too late to like turn around and be like, me. I didn't want to be that guy, right?
I'm
So
famous. Yes.
Yeah.
it's like I'll just be the cool guy and just keep walking.
I feel so unguarded whenever I get recognized in Japan. 'Cause
Yeah,
I'm just
right.
Like, what? There's a.
It really catches me off guard. Yeah.
Yeah, it really is scary.
Because I don't know, like one, it's surprising to hear someone speak English as well here, and just on the streets, and two, like someone who speaks English and also recognizes you, and it's especially I think since Trash Taste has started as well. Like I don't know how I'm gonna handle going to my next anime convention, and there's just gonna be like 70 million people calling me Grant, and I'm just like I'm not gonna be able to tell the difference, like if they're just memeing or if they actually think my name is Grant.
I
people-
hope at the airport they're like, "Welcome, Garnt." Grant, sorry.
Welcome, Grant. Yeah, because I remember, like, people already fuck up my username. They're like, yo, you're the anime guy, right? Or it's like, you're the anime dude. And I'm like, I can't wait to just be called, like, all these fucking nicknames. I'm just like, do you actually know who I am? Or are you just, like, taking the piss? Because sometimes I don't even know. Like, when a person comes up to me and goes, are you the anime guy? I don't know if I'm supposed to go, I'm the anime man, or if I'm supposed to go, no.
Who's that? Who's that?
I'm not that guy.
Who is that? I don't know.
I don't know who that guy is.
Why, hello there. It is I, Anime Zone. And while Connor's not here, I'm going to hijack this podcast to talk about anime. Because you know what? This episode is sponsored by Crunchyroll. This fall season, Crunchyroll is simulcasting a bunch of new seasons of classics like Boruto, Case Closed, and of course, the Demon Slayer, Kimetsu no Yaiba, Mugen Train TV arc, and Entertainment District arc. Not to miss the season, One Piece is airing its 1000th episode. Can you believe it? And a lineup of fresh titles like Platinum N, Sakugan, and Blade Runner Black Lotus. As you know, I am the last remaining Trash Taste member who actually watches anime, and I know that Platinum N comes from a manga that was made by the same team that made Death Note, so I am very curious and hyped to watch it. As always, you get the biggest catalogue of anime content with over 30,000 anime episodes available to you to watch in both sub and dub. You can watch all these titles for free on Crunchyroll or try their 14-day free trial of their premium membership to skip all the ads and access simulcasting with Japan. Follow the link on screen or go to crunchyroll.com/trashtaste to start watching anime today, because you're going to be doing better than the rest of the boys. That's crunchyroll.com/trashtaste. Thank you to Crunchyroll for sponsoring us today. Back to the episode.
Yeah, have you guys ever been recognized in your home country?
Have we spoke about this on Trash Taste before?
I don't know, but I feel like it's going to be even more insane now.
Tell us. Tell me when you've been recognised in the UK.
I mean,
have you actually been?
Yeah, I've been recognised once, I think, in an Argos in Brighton.
Argos?
Yeah.
What's an Argos?
Fuck. Oh god, it's a terrible store. It's the whole gimmick of this. The whole gimmick of this store is that you don't actually like get to look at the products. It's a warehouse, but you get to look at the massive 400-page book, and you get to pick.
Is this the place where you were talking about like your Christmas gifts or whatever?
Yeah, it's fucking terrible.
Basically, just imagine Amazon,
IRL.
except you have to go there, and you don't have a computer screen to browse everything. You just have a massive book.
Lord knows how they're still in business. With that model.
That sounds very outdated.
It's kind of like the Blockbuster.
So recognized in Argos?
Yeah, it's really weird. It's just one of the cashiers recognized me. It's not a very exciting story. Huh?
Did they give you a discount?
No.
Fuck.
Have you ever gotten that before, where like someone working at an establishment recognizes you and you got like a thing out of it?
No, but if they do, I'm very open to that.
It's but like I've heard stories about Sydney just went back to America, and apparently she was just in a bar. And she got recognized.
Oh,
and,
sick.
Shit,
that's not good. That's not good. It's Sydney's content.
Yeah. Whoa.
God.
Well, no, she got recognized because she was obviously my fiance, and she was just, and all the guy said was just, yeah, are you Sydney? And she's like, yeah. Oh, where's Garnt? And she's like, oh, he didn't come here. And I was like, oh. Say hi to Garnt for me.
No, don't do that.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Would be like, say hi to Joey and Garnt for me.
Yeah.
I'm like, and what? What am I going to say?
Yeah. What? Yeah. By the way, random dude I just met says hi. It's like, what do we say to that? Look, it's like, we appreciate you guys coming up to us and saying hi. That's cool and all, but like, don't like make us be the messenger for another person. That's no one appreciates that.
The 800th century. I'm not a messenger. I'm not like here to convey messages for you.
Right.
I got recognized one time at midnight on a bus, which was terrifying.
Oh god.
I was going to the gym, and yeah, the bus went right outside my house to the gym.
Right.
It was perfect. It was 24 hours as well, so it was good. And I was on my way back from the gym. I was extremely sweaty. And there's only two people on this bus, me and him. And he was right at the back wearing a hoodie in the back, just like...
Oh, shit.
And I was like, what the fuck? So then I'm sitting close to the front on the second level.
Yeah.
And I'm just listening to music. And I'm like, yeah. And then feel like on my back, like a tapping.
That's scary.
And I'm like, what? He's like, hey, man, you Sea Dog? And I was like, yeah, I'm Sea Dog. What's up? And he's like, love your videos. And I'm like, thanks, man. And just walked off. I was like,
that's so scary.
I was like, what? He was like still hoodie and everything on when he came up to me.
Yeah.
It's like, are you Sea Dog?
Just brick shit house.
Yeah, he was massive, and I was like, "Oh, thanks, man."
Nice.
And I was like, "This is my house."
I got recognized in Akihabara. Used to get recognized a lot of the obvious.
Yeah, every time I used to
yeah.
go with you there, it was like
I always.
I feel
that's
like
where my people are.
I feel like Akihabara is like a cheat code, right? Because that's
Yeah.
like saying you got recognized at an anime convention.
Yeah, because it's
Yeah.
also Akihabara surprisingly has like the most like foreigners.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it does. It obviously. I mean, it's one of the most like sensationalized, like wacky
Yeah.
to look at places right in
Yeah.
Tokyo. But I was recognized. I get recognized pretty much every time I go to Akihabara. But the one time I went to, I was like running a little short on my hentai. Might pop into a Melon Books, which is a store where you can buy hentai, and peruse the goods.
Oh shit, are you the anime man?
Yeah, and as I was perusing through some stuff, I got a tap on the shoulder, and it's like, "Are you Joey?" I'm like,
I thought it was gonna be like the lolly sections.
wrong place, man. And he's like, "Yeah, well," I'm like, "Yeah, I am. Hi." And I was like, "Oh no!" Like of all, like, and I was like holding a doujin I was about to buy as well. And I'm like, worst timing. And he had like a bag as well, so he obviously just like finished at the cash register. And the guy was like, "What are you doing here?" I'm like, "What the fuck do you think I'm doing here?"
I jack off.
Like,
We all
really?
Jack off.
Like, really? Are you sure you're a fan of me? Because if you are, you would know exactly what I am doing here. I am holding the thing I am about to buy. You can see that. So I'm like, so all I said was just buying some hentai. And it's like, "Oh, sick, dude. All right, bye." They just walked out. I'm
It's
like,
just like, what kind of interaction can you have in that place? Because I have exactly the same experience. Because the place I get recognized the most is that.
it's Melon Books,
store.
right?
It's that store.
It's always, I've been recognized like 3 times in a Melon Books. And I'm like,
Jesus.
why? What, is it just
Was that
known?
just like a doujin store?
Yeah, Melon Books
it's
is like
it's
a
a
huge
complete doujin store.
Yeah.
Basically, when Sydney is just like running out of ideas for content, she just goes there
Yeah.
and she's like, "Oh, just."
And then the cashier's like, "Is Garnt with you?"
It's just a
Say hi
content
to
gold
Garnt,
mine.
Yeah, Melon Books and Toranoana are like the 2 like big hentai stores in Akihabara.
I always get recognized, and I haven't been recognized often, but when I do, it's always when I look like shit. It's never when I've made an effort to look good. It's never
Yeah.
in the JoJo suit. It's never when I've got my drip game on.
Yeah.
It's when I'm in
Honestly,
fucking
like,
sweatpants
how-
and
how
Coca-Cola
often-
flip-flops.
Yeah,
How
how
often
often are you in
How
drip?
often is that, though, Connor?
Listen, every single day I leave the house, I just, I remember one time I went to like, there was a Sainsbury's near me, which is just a normal supermarket.
Yeah.
And I was wearing sweatpants, flip-flops, the shit, which I actually don't even normally do that. I would normally put the effort into wear jeans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, no, I lie.
No,
This is back when I thought that wearing jeans was a luxury. If I was working.
Why is it a luxury?
Because those are work pants.
So actually, I just go on a detour because it was a shit story anyway. I basically got recognized as sweatpants. Not funny, didn't I?
Is this why you
Had to be
refuse to wear wash jeans? Because it's a luxury.
No, that's a different shit take.
No, sir. That's not a shit take. That's the right take. Look it up. So I had this thing for a very long time. Well, this isn't a me thing. This is a general thing. I used to just only wear like sweatpants when I was at home. If I wasn't leaving the house, I wouldn't wear jeans. I would just wear sweatpants.
I still do that.
But now I changed my mind, and now I only wear jeans in the house.
What? How do you bring yourself to do that?
Do you wear
I do
jeans?
that.
What?
Because
I always wear jeans.
What happened was that I started just feeling like shit. I'm just like not working. And
Right.
so I was like, maybe if I like dress like I'm not a slob, I might work a little better.
No, you laugh, but
And-
it's a real fucking
and
thing.
it actually worked.
Like I
Because-
wear jeans not because I want to, but because it's the only way I'm gonna look good.
But when you wear in a pair of jeans nicely, they feel like better than anything.
I feel like my day hasn't started until I
Until I
put
wear
on my
jeans,
put on
yeah.
my jeans. Sometimes I try to work.
Like an American fighting for freedom. I just haven't started my day until I put on my denim jeans.
Honestly, like so sometimes I try to work and I'm in like sweatpants or sometimes just in my fucking boxes because I sleep in my boxes and I just don't get anything done.
Right.
As soon as
Amen.
I put on my
Amen.
jeans, the day has started.
Amen.
I am ready to work.
I
Because
don't know, man. I just wake up and go time to work, and then I
But
just
this is the
start
thing is
working.
that if you go to
Mind over
jeans-
matter, man.
Yeah, but if you go to jeans,
just work harder.
Yeah, just work. Just get good.
work. Just get good.
It's, and like one time I even went so far as to start wearing like nice shirts, like
Like a suit shirt.
but suit shirts when I was making videos because I was convinced that this is the next step to increasing my productivity. Yeah, it turns out it didn't work and I hated it.
Yeah, right?
But I found the happy medium at jeans and a shirt. I felt
Yeah.
like if I can dress enough,
Are we talking
where-
like a t-shirt or like a college shirt?
no, like this.
Okay, yeah.
But like I think the sweatpants were the big player because I basically got to the mindset of I want to wear outfits that I could just go out to any social gathering, or I can wear this to anywhere. You know,
right.
And so I felt like it helped my productivity. So if you work at home a lot and you've gotten into the habit of sweatpantsing all the time, you know, maybe
just try wearing what you would wear to work.
But what would you do during the summer then?
I still wear jeans.
Would you still wear like full on jeans?
I mean, what, I'm not going to wear.
Are you going to wear shorts?
No, fuck no. Jeans, I just put AC blasting.
I mean, I wear whatever I would wear to the Trash Taste office. That's basically like my dress code at home. But like, I would never wear anything too comfy. I guess because if I'm
comfort is the enemy of productivity.
Well, because if I'm in sweatpants, I feel like I should be in my bedroom or on the couch.
No, I get that.
Watching TV.
Like one thing I do in the morning to like get me into like the work mode if I'm at home all day is that I don't wear like my pajama shirt. I like change to a different shirt.
Pajama shirt? You have a pajama shirt?
Yeah, just like old shirts that I don't.
You wear shirts to bed? Why do you do that?
I wear shirts to bed.
Why? Because I don't want to. Why do people do this?
Because I don't want to be naked.
Because it just feels.
I wear boxes, just boxes.
I don't know. It just doesn't feel comfortable.
Yeah.
It feels like unless I'm in a sleeping bag, I don't have enough cover over me.
Yeah, I feel really bare.
Yeah,
and unprotected.
Like boxes.
Boxes.
I
love using the body parts as temperature control. So I put some out, put some in. You know, depending on how cold or hot I need to be.
Okay, but do you wear boxes to bed?
Yeah, sometimes naked, sometimes boxes.
I need to wear boxes to bed. Sleeping like completely naked just feels weird.
It's a getting used to thing, you know, because the nutsack is a very delicate thing to kind of like. You laugh, but
I'm laughing because
that's the main
agree.
problem.
I agree.
Your nuts go everywhere, and sometimes they're more elastic than other times. So it's.
Sometimes you just don't want your nutsack rubbing against your leg, you know, like I don't know, like for me,
are your nuts so huge that they're like a fucking sack of potatoes? Like, oh fuck, it's
like forklift them out of the way.
when I'm not wearing a shirt to sleep, it just feels weird to feel my own skin on my skin.
No, I get that.
Like you know, it's exactly the same
like
thing.
The only time I will,
you've been like brainwashed.
The only time where I will go to bed without a shirt on is if it's like excruciatingly hot to the point where like even the AC on blast isn't gonna do it for me.
Yeah.
What?
To me, I need some fabric on me to stop myself from touching
the bed
myself.
sheets.
It's an embrace. You're like lightly embraced by the shirt. It's like
an extra layer of skin that you're not. That sounded really like
epidermis 2.0, right?
I feel like you're just like giving me a very shit reason as to why you wear a shirt to bed.
It's comfortable. End of story.
I don't understand why you would feel uncomfortable without a shirt.
Okay, and another thing, sometimes if I'm not wearing a shirt, my body gets even hotter, right? Because you have like a natural body temperature, and if it's like skin on skin, sometimes it's like a loop system where it like warms itself up a bit more. I don't know if that's just me.
I think that's bullshit. I think you've got insulation with
it's like an eddy current of heat.
Surely the shirt keeps in the skin the heat more, no?
No, I mean like insulation works both ways, right? Like if you put a jacket on a snowman, right? It insulates the heat in. It insulates like the coldness in.
They actually say to preserve body heat, like in like super cold temperatures when you sleep, it's actually better to sleep naked than to wear something.
I just think that you're meant to sleep naked. I just thought that was what you're supposed to do.
Where'd you get this idea from?
The fucking caveman.
Isn't that how God intended? Like, you know.
Oh, God sleeps naked.
Why wear clothes then?
It just seems like a lot more effort to be wearing clothes to bed. Like, why are you complicating it?
Effort?
Yeah, just go naked.
How hard is it to put a shirt on for you?
I just think, why are you adding shirts into an equation that doesn't need it, you know?
Why need blankets?
So then, okay, question then.
Yeah, why need blankets?
Okay, question then, right?
Why not just sleep on a slab of rock?
I have a serious question.
Okay.
So then when you start doing the business, do you just throw the shirt off?
Yeah.
Oh, that just seems like a lot of work. I'm always ready.
It's 2 seconds. It's just boom, you're done.
When you jack off, do you wear a shirt?
Depends where I am.
It's never really a part of the equation of jacking off. I'm just like, do I have my shirt on? Why?
I feel like I'm like the Michelin Man when I'm jacking off wearing a shirt. I feel like I'm like constricted. I'm like, fucking hell, like get the shit off me.
What do you do you fucking bulk up when you
have you never done the business with a shirt on?
I have. I don't like it. It feels like I'm in some kind of like constriction. I don't like it at all.
You don't like it?
No, it feels dreadful.
I don't mind it.
No,
yeah. Sometimes you need to sometimes it's nice.
There's a reason why, in porn they don't take the they take the shirt off, It's because you want to get like
that's because they're on fucking camera, mate.
Yeah, but
are you on camera?
I might be. Don't know what I'm into.
I don't know who I'm fucking.
Next sponsor. But it's like, you know, when you're pooping sometimes, you have to take your shirt off.
Yeah,
but that's more of just like...
It's the same kind of energy.
Well, that's the thing. It's if it gets intense, I'll take the shirt off.
Not every poop needs to take... You need to take the shirt off.
I prefer, if possible...
Speak for yourself.
You know, when you wake up, when you wake up, right, and you have the first poop, do you take the shirt off when you do it, or you just right to it?
No, I keep it on.
The shirt taking off poops are for the poops that like fight back.
Yeah.
It's when like you need to like... Yeah. Like you need that extra push, and
those are the poops that are like, no, I'm staying here. The ones in the morning are kind of just like, all right, it was a good night.
I generally prefer to just take it off when I poop anyway.
Why?
Not like during the day if I'm like out in like a public restroom, like time to undress.
Connor goes for a poop and just like he like takes off like the JoJo suit, takes off the tie, takes off the shirt,
and I'd still poop faster than Garnt.
I don't know. It's just like a placebo, right? It's like I just feel more comfortable wearing a shirt to bed. I don't know what it is.
I think you've nerfed yourself.
In what way have we nerfed ourselves?
How?
I feel like you've nerfed yourself.
No, because I can poop without any requirements.
You know what it also is?
It doesn't sound like that, because it sounds like your requirement is that you need to take a shirt off, and that you need to have nothing on.
I just prefer
that's literally a requirement. I can sleep naked. I just prefer to have a shirt on.
What if you're stranded without a shirt?
Then I'll sleep with my shirt off.
Here's a reason.
You'll be complaining the whole time.
Here's a reason as well, though, because like I've actually experienced this where like in the middle of the night, we're in Japan, right? Earthquakes, right? They happen all the fucking time, right? If there's a massive earthquake in the middle of the night, I don't want to be that weirdo running out of my house butt fucking naked.
You have time to grab the clothes.
Well, then why don't you just wear the shirt at that point then? If you have the time
I'm
to wear a shirt escaping from an earthquake,
I'm not
why
Jason
not just
Bourne,
sleep
bro.
with it?
I'm not Jason Bourne. I don't need to be fucking ready for combat situations every fucking night. I haven't got a drawer full of passports ready to go in case I need to be deported. You know, this t-shirt is on the floor. This one extra second of putting on the t-shirt, which I can do on the way to the elevator or some shit. You know, I don't need to.
On the way to an elevator in an earthquake,
bro. I'm not walking downstairs.
I just have this like mental image of just like if an earthquake happens when Connor's either sleeping or on the toilet, it's just gonna be that scene from Borat all over again. Connor just like emerges, like just butt naked,
completely butt naked.
If I'm shitting in the middle of an earthquake, I'm taking my chances. I'm gonna carry on doing what I'm doing. I'm not. Why would I run out? I feel like running out is just a stupid idea. Just stay in your house. Maybe if you die, you die.
No, it is a very specific situation.
No, of course. I mean,
because when I was, you know, when we evacuated in LA, I felt like we did not need to evacuate. I felt like we should have just stayed in our room. I don't know what the recommended guideline is, but I'm pretty sure running down to the bottom floor is not the right idea.
Not using the elevator.
Yeah, you can't use the
elevator. I ran all the way down.
Nami ran like 51 stories.
I would say not using the elevator during an earthquake is probably like at the top of like things
not to do.
I
just had shit to do after it, so I really wanted to get down fast. So I was.
It's Chick-fil-A nuggets weren't going to eat themselves.
That as well. And also, the moment that I was immediately put off going down the stairs was when we ran past the American family, and that guy was acting like we were in like a Hollywood movie. And he had like 3 kids, and he was like, "Kids, stay with me. Stay with your daddy. We're gonna go down together as a team. Hold hands." And I was like, I'm not big in this guy's movie. I'm gonna do my own thing. I don't want to be part of this. That's when I decided.
To
I
be
was
fair,
not
that did like it was a pretty tense situation. But the moment I heard that dad say that, I was just like,
the earthquake had ended. You know, it was like whatever. I was not really scared anymore. The building was still shaking, but I was like, whatever. It's not a big deal.
The building's built for it.
Yeah, the building's built different.
Yeah.
To withstand it.
To withstand those. Yeah.
So literally. I was pretty confident that we were going to be fine.
Yeah.
So I was like, whatever. I think I'll take the elevator. I didn't. I realized that.
Don't take emergency advice from Colin.
No, don't.
I'm not recommending it. Yeah. I'm lazy.
He just does it anyway.
I was just, you know, I felt confident enough that I was going to be fine. So, and if I died, you know, sure, I can have my Darwin Award in peace because I'm dead. So, I don't know.
I can kind of relate to that in like a tangential sense, where you just like willingly put your life in danger just for a bit of convenience.
I don't feel like it was in danger because I didn't feel that way.
Because like living in Thailand, this is going a complete tangent. But
every
like,
time you get in the car and
no, take your shirt off. No, that's not risk. That's not risking your life. Okay, Bangkok is the only place I've lived in where people willingly risk their lives on the daily by taking a motorcycle taxi like daily in like some of the most dangerous roads in the world just to save yourself 30 minutes of traffic.
Right.
And we do that on the daily. Yeah. And I do that on the daily. I'm just like, that's weird when you think about it like that.
I can't really describe why I just wanted to take the elevator, but I think I just realized I was like, I could either walk down 70 floors of stairs or I could just risk it and take the elevator. And I think at that point in time, to me, taking 70 flight of stairs was not worth my life.
Well, I mean, I can't argue against that because I also went in the elevator with you. So.
I think it was one of those things where
I was like, good idea, Connor.
It was like Connor's going in the elevator. All right, if he's stupid enough to risk his life, I guess I feel confident enough where I'll go in with it. I can blame Connor if I die.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. I know that I shouldn't do it, but I did. So
I mean, we ended up not going down anyway.
Yeah, so what ended up happening was cosmic justice, is that the elevator to get down, you had to go up to the 70th floor, to the lobby, to then get down. And when we got to the 70th floor, they stopped all the elevators.
Yeah. So basically we went down about 30 flights of stairs for nothing.
I walked.
So basically just instant karma.
Yeah.
Instant karma compilation.
Yeah, it was.
Honestly. Right there.
And then we waited 10 minutes and the elevator started working.
Yeah.
And
it was no problems.
And I was very glad that I did that.
I literally looked back and like, what the fuck?
Yeah, meanwhile, Navi was like, went down 70 flights of stairs, turned around, was like...
But, when stuff like that happens, I feel like I don't want to be that guy who's panicking and running around like all these people.
No, that's the last thing to do.
I just feel like this is
Don't be sheep.
This is
Wake up, sheeple.
This is how you're inviting a shitty situation to happen. You know, and I also don't want to try my chances on the road. Because when you leave the hotel, you're just facing the road.
Yeah.
I don't want to try my chances with stuff falling or people driving on a
that's
road
the thing,
in an earthquake.
Yeah.
I was pretty content that my room was fine. Yeah. I was like, whatever.
Well, that's the thing. Is like in some situations, it's actually more dangerous to go on the road because in the case with Japan, we have so much like electrical wiring on the roads that if those fall and snap, they can easily electrocute you. Fucking, traffic signs can come down, hurt you.
Yeah.
I feel like the safest place is just to probably be on the ground floor of a building.
I don't know, but you get way more like earthquake vibrations on the first floor.
Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah.
The best thing
the higher up the building, the less you get you just get swaying if you're up top.
Yeah.
And when you're down below, you get the fucking violent shaking.
Yeah. The best thing to do is to just go out into like a really, really open field.
I feel like this is a point in my life where I'm just like, I don't know if I should listen to this advice.
Well, because the really tall buildings are built on like rolling mechanics.
Yeah.
So when the building, you fucking experienced it.
What do you mean?
The hotel we stayed in.
Yeah.
It's built on rollers, so that when the earthquake happens, it starts rolling.
Yeah, but on like the ground floor, sometimes you literally don't even feel the earthquake.
No,
because there's no swaying or anything like that.
No, because you're getting like the actual fucking earth shaking.
No, that's not what it feels like on the ground floor.
Yeah, it does. You've been on an earthquake on the ground floor, right?
Yeah.
It feels very violently shaking.
Yeah, but it's kind of the same as being on the building.
When I experienced both in Japan, I definitely preferred in LA when the building was just swaying. I
was literally on the street, and sometimes I didn't even notice that there was an earthquake when people.
What?
Yeah. Because there's nothing to like. How can I put this? There's nothing to put your perspective in that you're in an earthquake. You just feel like
the floor is moving,
wobbly. The floor doesn't move.
It shakes.
Does it?
It shakes.
Yes.
But it shakes. But a lot of the times you can't actually see it moving until you look at something.
Yeah,
else
there's nothing to like ground your perspective.
Whereas if you're in a building, you can see other buildings doing this.
Yeah, exactly. Like
I don't really mind
most of the times I don't even realize I'm in an earthquake until I have something to like ground that perspective. Right. Sometimes like living in Japan, sometimes I just get up, get a head rush. I'm like, oh, was that an earthquake? Did you ever get that?
There's so many light earthquakes, but like when when you're getting an earthquake, because it used to be like just fucking. I'm like, well, shit.
My mom has this story of when she was in school, she was like running along the tracks at school. And like, when you're running, like your entire world is doing this.
Yeah.
So she was running and she was looking at the school building and then she stopped and the building just kept doing this and she realized she was in an earthquake.
Oh, wow.
And she didn't realize until she stopped because to her perspective, it's already going up and down. Right?
Yeah.
But then it's I think, again, it's that like perspective of being like, that's not moving the way it's intended to.
But also, I don't, the swaying and all that stuff, I don't really give a shit as long as, like, the building isn't falling down.
No.
Yeah.
And if I just don't want my stuff to break.
Well, yeah, that's the biggest thing. It's just like shit falling down, isn't it?
Yeah, that's why whenever there was an earthquake, I would just rush to my, like, camera gear. I'm like, hold my children.
Protect!
JoJo figures, please.
Me and my anime figures.
No!
Those are the real casualties in earthquakes.
I had those, like, $400, $500 JoJo figures that were, like, very finely balanced.
Yeah.
That were, like, balanced. The weight was like this. So the center of gravity was very worrying.
Yeah.
And during earthquakes, I immediately had to just, like, go to them if I was there. And during we had one pretty big earthquake, and I was surprised because my figures just stayed up.
Well, I mean, same with the studio as well.
No, yours didn't.
Yeah,
it's weird because the figures that had fallen looked like pretty normal figures, but the one that I really expected to break didn't move at all.
Well, I mean, it's the same here as well. Like when at the old trash.
I expected like Rohan to just be over.
All of these like knocked over, but the only casualty we had was fucking Mike.
Fucking Mike.
Every time I'm not at my house and there's an earthquake in Japan, I just assume my house is going to be demolished when I'm back. I'm like, everything's fucked. I have to rebuild my whole life. It's all ruined.
Do you guys have like the anti-earthquake proof stuff in like your cabinets? You probably should do that.
No.
It really does make a difference.
Does it?
Yeah.
What is it?
So basically, like, I mean, there's lots of different variations of it, but
Do you
like,
need it for most stuff though? I feel like it's for very specific things.
we put it on most stuff, like most of the big stuff. So like, if you have like figurine cabinets or like bookshelves, there's this like little kind of like they look like little rubber door stoppers.
Yeah, I know what they are. I know
you put them underneath, and it completely stops the shaking from happening.
Yeah,
I wanted to get the figures to stop shaking.
Yeah, so I have them under like all of my bookshelves and figurine cabinets and stuff like that. And I've seen them move in an earthquake. That shit doesn't budge. So that's really good. And also like there's also these like little like sticky pads kind of thing that you can put on like some like figurines and stuff like that. That's
just weird that you have to like live in a country and you have to just worry about like insta death just happening. Like in the UK, like nothing kills you.
Insta-death. I mean, it's not exactly insta-death.
Well, just worry. Well, I mean, it might be.
If you're in the wrong situation.
Yeah.
I mean, I suppose like we've been lucky enough to never have been in a bad earthquake. I don't know. I feel like we've never.
This. Don't fucking say that. Well, they've been predicting the mega quake for like a few years now in Tokyo.
Yeah.
Where there's bound to be some kind of like magnitude 8 or 9 fucking earthquake in Tokyo, and I hope to God it happens in the next 3 weeks. I'm not here.
Jesus Christ!
I bet you'll wish you were on the ground floor then, Connor.
Yeah,
that's all I'll say.
I felt like the shaking was very violent. I used to live on the fourth or fifth floor, and it used to shake really weirdly. I didn't like it. I felt like it was just high enough up where I got really fucking violent shakes.
Yeah.
I was on the 8th floor, and I think with the biggest earthquake we were in, which was the one where
earthquake,
the biggest earthquake we were in, which was the one where my figures fell over. I wasn't in the toilet at the time. But like
that's the safest room to be in.
Yeah, I was in the bath one time as well.
Yeah.
But that earthquake just lasted for so fucking long. It felt like it lasted for like 2 minutes or something.
At least,
go on.
Yeah, because it just started, and like at which point, because you have to make this mental judgment of at which point do I start giving a shit?
Yeah. Because most of the time it's a little
because it happens so often.
It happens so often. So I'm just like, is this the one I should start caring?
Yeah.
It's not stopping. Should I start caring now?
But also, what are you gonna do if you give a shit? Like, what am I gonna do? Just be like, oh shit, I'm worried.
Well, you have to like evacuate to your nearest evacuation point, which everyone should know when you move. Do
you
know where is this?
Fuck no. Well, you got to get under the door frame, right? If it's
door frame, but also like if it gets really bad, then there's like in your local town, there's usually like evacuation points.
That's
that you
normally
have to go
if like your water and shit turns off and all that is right.
No, in a lot of situations it's like earthquakes and floods and stuff like that. Yeah.
But why would you leave your house in an earthquake if it's like that's surely if it's like unstable? No.
Well, I mean, what if
the building's unstable?
Well, it's usually in the case of like if the earthquake is really powerful, that your water stops or your electricity stops, your gas.
That's what I thought. Right, it was to get like supplies and shelter.
Yeah.
Because if it's really fucking cold and your electricity turns off and
then you kind of screwed.
Which I'm kind of fucked because like I am not stocked up on any kind of emergency or disaster.
Yeah, we recently like restocked our shit, so it's like all in the front.
I've been meaning to. Been
meaning to. Yeah.
2 years now. I've been meaning to do that. I'll get around to it. I'll get around to it.
Not too late. Because I remember like for Journey Across Japan, we went to like Sakurajima, which is that like island or volcano.
One,
in Kagoshima, and I remember like 2 weeks after we left there, it fucking erupted.
Oh, wow.
And it's like, and that
Quite
entire, it was like pretty big as well. And it made me realize I was like, oh yeah, earthquakes are like the least of my worries because Japan is like fucking volcanic area. There's like so many active, like Mount Fuji is a fucking active volcano.
Is it?
Yeah,
It is.
it is. It's an active volcano, and it last erupted I think about 250 years ago, and they're expecting it
250 years ago.
Yeah, in like the Edo period, it last erupted.
Oh,
and they're expecting it to erupt like soon.
Sick.
So I'm like, sick.
They actually did a simulation. If it erupts completely, it actually reaches all the way to Hachiyoji.
Oh shit!
It's still that far.
Yeah. Wow.
it's kind of like Yellowstone, right, in America. Well, that's like one of the biggest active super volcanoes in the world.
Yeah.
And if that erupts, then it's just like kind of like the end of civilization for like a lot of people.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, because a lot of the waters at Yellowstone are like boiling hot, like the lakes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, some horrifying stories of people jumping in the water, thinking that they can swim in it, and it's boiling
Just
hot.
get boiled alive.
That's pretty
But
grim.
I don't know when it's so bad. When do I leave my house? I don't know that. Is there like a hard guide on when to leave your house?
I mean, I'm pretty sure you'll know when you'll know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like when it gets to the point where it's like, oh, I can't be here for
Yeah,
a
true,
multitude of reasons, then it's time to go.
Yeah, the ones that I don't really get scared of the earthquakes in Japan, but the ones that do kind of make me uncomfortable is when it starts small and it just keeps getting bigger.
Yeah.
And then you're like, when will it stop? Will it keep escalating?
Yeah.
Because when it starts off big and it doesn't get any worse, I'm like, okay, fair, all right, okay, cool.
It's the long ones for me that are most terrifying.
Where it starts, you like shakes, and you're like, please stop.
Yeah, so it's like, when is this going to peak? Where's the peak? This is the peak? No, it's not peaking yet. I just feel like it's the British in me, where you just don't take any kind of like natural disaster seriously.
I'm just like, come on, pack it in. Pack it in. Come on. All right, stop this now. Come on. I've had enough of this. I'm British. Come
What's
on.
a natural disaster? Come on, there's no natural disasters in the world.
So you guys don't have like any natural disasters?
No.
There's some flooding, but very light. It's not
Right.
really.
We have flooding here.
Like
as well.
I hear like of like a weather warning in Japan. I'm just like, what the fuck's a weather warning? How can weather kill
My
you?
phone has been on permanent weather warning since I moved here, I'm pretty sure. But I'd love to imagine the first time like a British person like went abroad, like in like 1600s, and they're like, there's an earthquake. Like, what the fuck was that? What the fuck was that? And they're like, yeah, that happens all the time. What do you mean that happens all the time? The earth just moves?
Yeah, the earth just moves.
And you're all okay with this? You haven't asked management what's going on?
It's a living.
And then like, yeah. And sometimes the mountain explodes. The mountain explodes?
Yeah.
And fire?
Yeah.
Hell?
The mountain explodes. We get these things called typhoons.
Yeah, they're like, what do you mean lava? That's hell. That's hell coming out. We've only seen that in the books. This doesn't happen. This is nonsense.
It's 20,000 leagues under the sea.
And you accept this? This is okay with you?
It's like, what is a typhoon? It's just a bit of wind, isn't it? A bit of wind's never hurt anyone.
It's just a bit of rain. We get that all the time.
Just a bit of rain and wind.
What do you mean nature destroyed your house? And did you get a refund? What is all this?
What is a tsunami? It's just a wave, isn't it? Yeah,
You just swim in that.
Yeah, when we think about it, Japan really is like world number one when it comes to like the variety of fucking things that can kill you in nature.
Yeah.
Like we really do have everything.
Because I remember before, like, I moved out of England, you'd hear about these disasters that happened all the way on the other side of the world, right? Like the Japan tsunami, which was like an awful tragedy that happened, and you just it never quite sank in.
Yeah, it never felt real.
Like how bad it was. Like I remember just before we moved to Japan, where like you guys were having like super bad typhoons, and like the videos that came out just looked super bad, and I was just like, it still doesn't sink into me that it's just this bad here in Japan.
Yeah.
As a British person, because I've just never experienced it IRL in real life. Like it's never just happened right in front of me.
It really is like completely different. Like you could watch like hundreds of videos on it, and the one that you've actually experienced in real life is like unlike anything you would ever imagine. It's like those typhoons look bad. It's 100 times worse in real life.
Watching like earthquakes from like the 2011 earthquake is like really fucking weird.
It's fucking terrifying, dude.
Yeah, just seeing like people, just everything shaking super violently. I'm like, oh gosh.
And just like the water level rising and shit is like terrifying. That happened 10 years ago, man.
That's weird.
Damn, time flies.
2011.
Holy shit! I was still in university.
To be fair, though, I would gladly take volcanoes if we can get onsens. Stick a volcano somewhere in Wales. I will have an onsen.
Would onsen culture work in the UK?
No.
If we had volcanoes, yeah.
You sure?
Yeah, I think so.
I wouldn't.
Yeah, okay. I wouldn't. They'd serve alcohol.
You just want it to work.
I'll make it work. We'll serve beer.
Not if people have to get naked.
Yeah.
In front of each other.
I think you underestimate how.
I think that culture is like just wouldn't work in the UK.
It would not work in the UK.
If you teach them from a young age, listen,
maybe okay, but like
getting naked is normal.
You can teach a group of people cannibalism from a young age, and they'll think it's all right.
Yeah, we're not talking about if
you took it over now.
if the entire history of the UK had changed to introduce this culture from the beginning, because then they'd just be fucking Japan, wouldn't they? Like,
if you gave them a free beer at the end of it, like you go naked with your boys, you get a free beer, they'd do it.
You sure?
100%.
I doubt. If I went up to a guy from the UK, like born and bred, never left the country, and I said, "I'll give you a beer if you get in this bath with this other dude naked."
When you say it like that, that sounds way worse.
Well, that's what an onsen is.
Well, no, because they're probably imagining some tight, not traditional bath where their like dicks are touching, and they're like, "Oh God, oh, I'm so scared of penises."
I mean, there are onsens like that though.
Well, yeah, but you don't. Not really public ones though.
Oh well, I mean, we've been in one.
Have we?
Yeah, remember?
Yeah. We've been pretty close together in an onsen.
At the end of the cycling trip.
Yeah.
We went in that really, really tight onsen.
Literally, it was like me, you, Joey, and Chris, and our legs were definitely touching.
Yeah.
I don't remember this.
That just shows how like used to it you've gotten,
it's
right?
just like nothing to you.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure someone who's not used to that type of culture would find that
especially
traumatizing.
Especially a lot of Brits, you know.
Imagine being scared of a penis, though. I just couldn't imagine it. Like,
I mean, you'd be surprised. not even being scared of penises, but like just like the social boundary of seeing your mate's penis.
Yeah.
Or seeing someone close to you and just knowing what they look like naked. I mean, I'm totally fine with it now.
Yeah.
But that's because I've done it.
So that's the thing. Yeah.
Boys, right?
It's like it's that one thing of just like getting to that point, and once you're over it, then you're over it, right?
Yeah.
But I think it's for a lot of people, it stops at getting to that point.
yeah, maybe in the UK, if it was in the UK, I would think it's weird.
Which is why for me, it's like it's such a shame because when people from overseas come to Japan for the first time and they're like, I want to know everything about the culture, you know, like what are some like really unique Japanese things? And of course, the first thing I think of is onsens, right?
Yeah.
But immediately, I always hesitate, being like, all right, get this, you're about to see my dick, but in like a cool way.
I just
in like a nice
cyberpunk music when you said that.
In like a nice relaxing way. We're in a bath together, and yes, we're naked, but it's not weird. It's not weird, trust me. And we're with other random people as well, but it's not weird. You know,
that's the first thing I tell people now. It's just like, you want to come to Japan? You want me to take you around? We're going to an onsen.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, I
just
think
get that out the way.
Yeah.
I think if someone's willing to go to the onsen with you, they're probably
be up for anything, right?
Everything Japanese culture.
Yeah.
You know? I feel like if you can't
it's trial by fire,
you can't put your own cultural differences aside to participate in another culture, then I don't think you're.
I agree.
ready.
And again, like that's what I kind of use as a gauge of like cultural understanding for that person. It's like if they can get over this, then you'll be fine.
I'm very open to some things, but there are some things where I've seen in like. You know, when they had like, what was it? There was a TV show called like Tribes in the UK. It was just a dude who went around tribes in like the Amazon or something. And there was one thing that he did that I was like, okay, I don't think I'd do that. And it was like, it was like an penis inverting ceremony or something.
Oh, I've seen that.
You've seen the video where the guy like faints when they do it to him? Yeah. And I was like, you know what? I thought I was up for a lot, but I think that's where I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen the one where they have to like wear that glove of just like bullet ants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, why would anyone want to do this?
Because
I think if I was, you gave me enough beers, maybe I'd do the ants thing. But
let's go.
But it's the video of that guy when the guy like the tribal chief does it to him and he just faints immediately.
Yeah.
Oh god, it sounded terrible.
Yeah. Just I think there are many penises like going
Yeah,
listening to that, right? It's like
I'm pretty much up for anything that doesn't involve like destroying my body or pain or stuff like that. I'm pretty much down for anything.
Yeah, I'm usually down for anything when it comes to like, especially when it comes to things like food and drink.
Yeah, which is why I hate it when people lie to me about they like make a joke. They're like, our culture, we do this. And then they just lied to me and I didn't have to put my penis out in public. I'm kidding. But no, this is why I trust my friends when I go somewhere new and they're like, this is what we do here. I'm like, I trust you. That sounds weird, but I trust you. Please don't fuck me. Like Garnt could be like, so in Thailand we get our dicks out in restaurants and swing them around. I'd be like, all right, well, okay.
All right, this is the culture.
When in Rome, do as the Romans. I would trust Garnt if Garnt told me.
Yeah,
something
right,
like that.
right.
Garnt was like, "Yeah, you have to spit on the food before you eat it." And I was like, "Oh,
I'm just waiting for the perfect opportunity to abuse
He's gonna
that
do
power.
it. He's gonna fucking do it. I know he is as well. That's the worst part.
I'm just waiting for the perfect opportunity to.
I'm
to
gonna
abuse
do
that, because
it.
I've only got one chance to do it. Do it before
Exactly.
I completely lose that trust.
It's like Joey in Australia. He'll be like, "Yeah, you have to snort all your alcohol." I'll be like, "Oh, okay, it's okay."
Yeah, you have to drink alcohol through your eye.
Jeez, I guess so.
I think Australians do
Yeah,
that.
we
though.
do that.
It's called a suicide shot.
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
pretty sure.
To be fair, we used to have like a lot of shows in the UK that would like cover like binge drinking and like clubbing. I don't know why we had TV shows about this.
Okay.
Yeah.
And there'd be this one show, and this is where I first discovered that people did vodka shots through their eyeball,
Yeah.
and it was weird. And they would do it, and they'd be like, they'd ask them, the interviewer would ask them, "Why'd you do it?" He's like, "Because I just get drunk so fast." And I'm like, is drinking like not fast enough? It's pretty fast. It's pretty damn instant. It's pretty fucking and then it just immediately cut to a doctor who was like, "Yeah, well, actually, you know, inserting any kind of alcohol in your eye is extremely dangerous and can remove the lipid layer of eye and can permanently damage and possibly blind you."
Yeah, of course.
I was like, "Oh,
You know, I don't need a fucking professional doctor telling me that. Like, it should be common sense.
yeah." It's like sticking a splinter in your butt. It's like I didn't need a doctor to tell me that didn't need to go there. It's weird, man. It's so strange because I feel like in the UK with partying and all that, there's so many stuff that you just do it because everyone else tells you to do it.
Well, yeah.
And I just always sat there thinking like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, it's definitely like especially in university where
Oh
just
my gosh.
just like the idea of doing a dirty shot now just like makes me feel sick.
What is a dirty shot? Explain to the viewers, Garnt, and me, because I forgot.
Yeah, I don't know what it is either.
Or a dirty pint. You just like you play probably most of the time it's fucking Ring of Fire,
Right.
which
you
is
mix them
the
all,
university game.
Yeah.
And then you have this pint glass in the middle where whenever you draw a certain card, you have to fill it up with whatever alcohol.
I feel sick hearing that. Okay.
Whatever
Yeah.
alcohol that person is drinking. And
Yeah.
sometimes if you're in like an ultra hardcore party, then you fill up with like other shit that you would never put in a fucking drink.
Yeah.
Like shit like washing up liquid or stuff like
Yeah,
that.
they would.
Or like Tabasco sauce or
Yeah, we
like
had
Nando sauce.
We had a rule in ours where whoever lost, they had to leave the room for 30 seconds, and anything in the kitchen could be put in the drink.
Yeah.
So people would put like pepper grains, washing up liquid, and like they would drink it.
I understand pepper grains and like Tabasco, but washing up liquid?
Yeah, because you would immediately throw it up. There's no way you could.
I've actually done it before when I was 17.
You fucking idiot.
Yeah, you're a fucking
I'm lucky for some reason during my whole time at university when I played this game, I never got it.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
But I would have refused.
I mean, we played that game, but we, made it stuff that you could actually drink.
Yeah, it's really disgusting.
That's the civilized thing.
I had food poisoning yesterday, and I feel dreadful. And hearing this makes me feel even more dreadful.
Why did you get food poisoning, Connor?
I ate a bad sausage.
You had a bad sausage.
I ordered 2 sausages. I cut one up, and it was very, very pink on the inside.
That's a bad sign.
And I thought, no, I'm not eating that one. But I cut up the other one, and it looked okay.
And you ate it, and
what
it was
kind of
not
sausage was it?
No,
Was it
no,
like
was
Italian
fucking,
sausage?
It was fucking terrible sausage.
narrator, and it was not okay.
Oh, I feel sick
You
describing it.
Connor and food poisoning.
Yeah, you are so susceptible to it. I think since you've been in Japan, you've had food poisoning like at least 3 or 4 times from my memory.
3 times.
What's the worst food poisoning you've ever had?
Probably the
chess tournament one?
Chess tournament?
Yeah, that was the worst one.
You had food poisoning for like a week.
I was shitting and vomiting for like a week straight. It was terrible. Oh god!
I think I've only ever had food poisoning once.
In Japan, because they serve so much raw shit.
Yeah.
Like, they serve raw chicken here. And they say like, oh, there's no salmonella. There is salmonella. There's just way less of it, right? There's
You're just less likely to get it. It doesn't mean you can't get it.
I'm not being funny, but you should not eat raw chicken. Like, I don't care if Japan is like, yeah, it's safe. No,
I've had it before.
Yeah, but it's not.
It's not even that good.
It's not that good, and you are rolling a dice.
Yeah.
You can eat it, but you are rolling a dice.
Well, I had raw chicken at an izakaya that's specialized in raw chicken. Because there's a lot of izakayas that just like give it to you.
I still wouldn't.
It's a cultural thing, right? Where people are just like, this is safe. This is safe. And I'm just like, is it though?
Yeah.
Is it? Is it safe?
It's like you are eating it, and there is a risk. There is still a risk.
Of course there's a risk.
But it's, you are unlikely to get food poisoning from eating the raw chicken, but there is still a chance you
can still get it, especially if your stomach's
way
not
more
used to
than
it,
other
right?
foods,
Right.
Yeah, but I mean, a lot of things, especially I feel like in Asia, which just has a lot less standards when it comes to, say, the health and safety of the food you serve here. I feel like even like Japan, compared to the rest of Asia, has really, really good food standards.
Yeah.
Compared to fucking Southeast Asia.
Oh yeah.
But
yeah.
Japan,
Oh my God,
Japan compared to the UK, it's like Japan doesn't bat an eye. If it's like pinkish, and I'm like, oof. My chicken's pink in the middle. I'm like, oh god, I don't know if I can eat that.
I mean, the only time I got food poisoning was when I went to the Philippines for the first time. And, you know, of all things I could have got food poisoning from, it wasn't the duck fetus. It wasn't even the water. It was a fucking mango shake.
Oh, yeah.
I ate a fucking mango straight off the fucking, like street vendor. And that's what gave me food poisoning.
God,
I'm like, cool.
About this.
Amazing. It was a fantastic shake, but, man, I was shitting, like, I was pissing out my ass for about 2 days. Oh. It was horrible.
Yeah, I think the worst food poisoning I've ever got was from China, actually, when I was still living there. And you know, when you live in China, like the food there is fucking great, especially like the street food. But it's just like trying to pinpoint where you got food poisoning there is like
needle in a haystack.
It's kind of like a needle in a haystack. You're just like, where did which one of these food stands did I get food poisoning from? It could be any one of them.
Like, could have been like a culmination of all of them too. Just like come together.
I remember it was like so bad that I almost had to go to the hospital because I remember it was like New Year's Eve for like one of the years. I can't remember which exact year it was, but I remember I was sitting on the toilet and I needed to throw up at the same time that I was shitting. and
those are the worst.
You laugh, but like it was a traumatic experience.
Were you just alternating?
I was.
Or did you have to like kind of like?
I was trying to keep it in, but that one time, I literally could not like hold either one. So I literally like needed to like I was sitting on the toilet and I needed to like try to like aim.
I can't listen to this.
It's awful. I don't want to get too graphic.
I've done that before,
but it's like it was the most awful food poisoning experience I've ever had. You know, it's kind of like a scene out of South Park where
I know which one you're
on. He literally shits and then pukes up and then has a nosebleed at the same time. I don't remember which episode. It was like that was my experience. That was
horrible. Say what you will about fast food chains. I've never gotten food poisoning from a fast food chain.
I've never gotten food poisoning from you mean like junk food and stuff like that.
Yeah, like McDonald's, whatever. I've never
gotten food poisoning from it personally, but I have gotten very sick.
Yeah,
like I felt bad,
just felt like shit.
I've never had to throw up after eating like KFC or something. I don't know about America. I've seen some really ghastly ones in America. But in the UK and Japan, I've had nothing but good experiences.
No, Japan is really good with fast food. I think like the few times that I've had McDonald's in America, I was like, I really want to throw up.
I feel so rough.
I really want to throw this up. Yeah, it's horrible.
I don't know how they make burgers taste so bad at McDonald's in America. I don't know what they do.
I don't know, man. They were
it's because McDonald's just makes enough money like worldwide.
Yeah.
And in America, there's just so much better, so much better burgers, right? There's
really more higher end burgers.
Yeah, there's way more competition in America. I feel like in America, McDonald's lives off the reputation of the rest of the world, right?
Yeah.
This episode is sponsored by Bokksu.
Bokksu is a monthly snack box subscription service that delivers original assortments of premium Japanese snacks and tea pairings. Bokksu is not just a premium snack subscription service, but a way of getting to know the Japanese culture.
First-time Bokksu customers will receive the Season of Japan box so they can get a taste of the snacks per season, and shipping to the US is free.
Get out of here.
It's almost autumn here in Japan, and you know what that means, boys?
What does it mean?
The autumn box is here.
No.
That's right. It's right here. Look
at it. Are you talking about fall?
Holy
fall.
Shit.
Right, Americans?
In Japan, people love to observe the changing of the leaves by going on an autumn leaf hunt and snacking on manju. They also attend Akimatsuri, or the fall festivals, to commemorate a great harvest.
Ooh. What have we got in there, Connor?
We have some milk manju. Where is that, gamers? Manju is a historic steamed Japanese sweet created by wrapping ingredients like bean paste in a kneaded wheat shell. This treat is milk-flavored for a creamy and sweet tasting experience.
Delicious.
And we also have Kyoto matcha waffle sandwiches. Crunchy and matcha flavored, an amazing collaboration of experiences.
This actually looks really good.
Actually, pretty good.
Damn.
And more.
Oh, Connor, I think you forgot about the Satoshi heart-shaped lemon mini pies as well.
Oh my god, is that those over there?
It is right here.
Look how cute those are, those heart-shaped pies.
Look at these.
And there is tons more in the box. This box is stacked, gentlemen. And you can get all of these lovely snacks and more for Halloween with the code TRASHTASTE10. Link is in the description to get 10% off your Bokksu subscription.
Thank you, Bokksu, for sponsoring us today. Back to the episode. Speaking of traveling and stuff, this is the last podcast before we head back to the UK, me and you. So you're not going to see a break, but we're going to have about like a 6 7 week.
Yeah, like month and a half break, basically.
Yeah,
6 week break,
which is the longest break we've ever taken from. I
want to see people who are like binging Trash Taste, like watching this episode and then going to the next and being like, what the fuck happened?
I wonder if there's any difference. Like, what if I just get a scar, like a really cool scar?
Yeah, you just come back and you're just like completely bald.
Big boss. Like just got an eye patch on or something like that, right? No, it's been really weird for me for the past few weeks because I've been living alone, I guess, for like the past 2-3 weeks.
Oh yeah, because Sydney went back to America, right?
Sydney's back in America, and I think this is like the longest we've been apart for
First
like
time, huh?
And it's so weird not having a partner home, and it's just the home feels so empty. Like, my God, like if it wasn't for Corona lockdown, I would want to meet so many people because I'm just like I need to do something to
you need someone to talk to.
Yeah,
right?
I need someone to talk to, and I need someone to fill in the gap of like fucking having no one in your house. I've forgotten what that felt like. Right, I forgot what that felt like.
I feel that.
It's just like because you're used to it, right?
Yeah.
To me, it's like I don't feel that way.
Yeah, I now see why you try to meet up with as many people as you can. Because if I was in if I was in your shoes, I would do the same. Because it's lonely without having someone just there to talk to whenever you want to.
Being alone sometimes, I really value being able to just like do whatever I want.
No, I like my alone time too.
No,
but,
like
only to a certain extent.
I like it a lot.
Yeah.
A lot.
I like my alone time as well, and I feel like any healthy relationship, you have space to be have your alone time. But if you're feeling lonely, there's just someone there. Also, another thing is that the chores are now like I'm in charge of all the chores, and I'm just like, what is this? Like, this is gonna sound a bit misogynistic, right? But like in my household, I'm in charge of the washing up.
Okay,
and Sydney is in charge of the laundry. Right. And so I was just used to only do the washing up and having the woman doing the laundry, right?
Why did you have to say it like that?
I just wanted to sound as misogynistic.
The woman?
I just wanted to sound as misogynistic as I can. Because now there's no one to do the laundry, and I'm just like, woman, where is my laundry done? And I just realized I have to do it myself now.
I just like to imagine, like, I just like slowly enter Garnt's house, and just from across the house, I just hear, "Woman, I need a fresh pair of underwear."
You really got done dirty because laundry is like the easiest of the household.
Yeah, I'm the one that does laundry in our house.
I think washing up the dishes is far more painful.
I hate washing up the dishes. And
why did you agree to that?
Because I also hate doing the laundry as well. I just hate doing.
No, I like the laundry.
Laundry's nice, bro. Fresh sheets. Oh, bro.
I mean, like, now that we've bought, like, a washing machine with a built-in dryer, all I have to do is just, like, fucking take it out and fold it up. But I like the process of folding up washing. I don't know why.
I hate that. It's
meditative.
It's so unoptimized. I just like, because the thing about the laundry,
my thing, huh?
the thing about the laundry is that, like, at least with washing up, it's just a one activity thing. You get it over with laundry. You have to put it in, and then you have to remember that you put the laundry in. And sometimes I'm such a forgetful shit that, like, you forget hours afterwards that you had laundry in the laundry machine, and then you take it out and it fucking stinks because you left it in there for so long,
and it's like wet and
so then you have to re-laundry your fucking laundry.
Well, that just sounds like a you problem.
That is a me problem. God, I hate laundry.
The laundry machines often have this very loud thing called a beeping
noise.
It
goes doot, doot when it's done.
Yeah, but sometimes you're just doing shit.
You might have heard it on your microwave. Kind of same thing.
Sometimes you're just doing shit. Sometimes you're just like, oh, let me just finish up this piece of work, and then I'll do the laundry. And then you just forget that you hear that.
Again, that sounds like a you problem. Because if I'm doing work and then I hear from my laundry machine going doot, doot, I'm like, all right, time to do the fucking. It's like, I don't know how hard it is.
It's really not that difficult.
Yeah. Also, I don't have to worry about dishes anymore because we have a dishwasher. So
I wish that was me.
I feel like I'm like a caveman just evolving.
I feel like
discovering civilization for the first time.
Yeah, I mean, like dishes I was used to doing, but like with laundry, is this how men felt in the 60s? You know, like.
We're going to get cancelled for this episode.
I'm not saying shit, bro.
Garnt's going to get cancelled for this episode. I disagree with all of Garnt's opinions here.
Because in our house, I have to do the laundry and the dishes because that's the one chore that Aki hates doing. So she does like the vacuuming and like the cleaning up and stuff like that because I fucking hate vacuuming the house. But
I also hate vacuuming.
Bro, imagine doing all of it yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
Well, I had to do that when I was living on my own.
Crazy.
But like now it's like, but now I feel bad because my 2 chores, which is the laundry and the dishes, I just let the machine do it. So I literally just like press a button. I'm like, done. And it's great.
I wish that was me.
Yeah.
I have to wash my dishes by hand, and my laundry doesn't have a dryer as well.
Dude, I'm telling you, man. Like when
I don't
you
really like the dryers and laundry machines. I feel like they ruin the clothes.
I don't like the dryer either.
Really?
But I also hate having to put out the laundry to dry.
Yeah, I hate having to put out the laundry
Because-
more.
'cause
There's something good about an old-fashioned natural dry that just kind of gets to me.
It does. But the problem with that is that you are at the mercy of the weather.
Yeah.
Right? Because, like, what are you meant to do in the wintertime?
Hang it inside, right?
The best.
What? I just hanging outside. What are you on about?
What, in the rain?
The rain.
No, it's not permanently raining in the winter.
Yeah, but what if you have laundry that just finished and it starts raining?
Yeah.
Oh, it's unfortunate, but you can just hang it up somewhere else.
Yeah, inside.
Yeah, yeah.
So basically what I just fucking said.
Yeah, but like you can do it outside. It's not a big deal, you know?
No, it is a big deal because it's going to get dirty again from the rain.
No, it's all right. You can wash it again. It's even more clean.
See, that's what someone living on their own would say.
Yeah, I know, right?
Like, I would have said the same thing if I was living alone, because it's like, oh, it's my clothes. Fuck it, who cares?
Yeah.
But you know, I have to take care of another person's clothes, and she doesn't quite like that.
Does Aki get like, no, you have to do it this way?
Well, no, it's more so. I mean, it's not so much Aki's preference. It's more so just fucking common sense. Don't try and dry washing in the rain.
Well, I don't put it out when it's raining. Because sometimes you put it out, then it starts raining. You forget that it's raining because you didn't notice right away, and then it's a little wet. You're like, fuck, I have to do it again.
Yeah,
Well, yeah.
At that point, that's just annoying, right? Because then you just take. If I feel like leaving it out in the rain, I have to rewash it.
Yeah.
because
I'm but a mere mortal,
that
you know.
washes out the good stuff about the laundry, right?
I'm simply one man. I cannot conquer nature. I've accepted that.
Right. So that's why I bought a washing machine that has a really good dryer attached
You're
to
trying
it.
to play God.
No. Because here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. Because if you dry your clothes in the dryer, then you're gonna need to iron your shirts, right?
Yeah.
I feel like if it's like naturally dried, sometimes if you get it out just fresh out of the washing, you're like what's
Whip it.
Whip it. Yeah. I was trying to think of the English word because I just knew the Thai word for it. You fucking whip the clothes.
Fucking whip it.
Yeah, and it dries naturally. You just get the creases out, and it's it's like a nice.
Sometimes.
A lot of the time, unless you're wearing
Sometimes.
like a really expensive shirt or something that needs to be ironed.
Yeah.
It's like most of the time for like a natural t-shirt, you get the creases out. So that's why I've always hated actually having to use the dryer.
Right. Well, I get that, but there's also like we use like these like kind of drying sheets that you like throw into the washing machine after it's done that creates less creases in the clothes. It's like a thing apparently. I didn't know. Aki found it on Amazon. I was like,
But
this
Japan's
is a
a
fucking game
bullshit
changer.
like this
Yeah.
that sometimes works, sometimes doesn't.
Yeah, true.
Japan's like, yeah, put this in your fridge and it'll make it smell like oranges, and then it like smells like oranges.
Like my
for
last
that
washing
one.
machine supposedly had a dryer inside of it, and I spanned it for like 3 hours, and I was like, "Oh, cool! It's just a little less damp than it was before."
Japan is like
fantastic.
the king at selling you shit that you think you need, that you don't actually need, and it doesn't work.
Exactly.
I just remember. So do you guys have an issue of your fucking trash really, really fucking stinking in the summer?
Yeah.
Like
No,
Yeah.
but I do. I remember when I go to your house, your trash for some reason always smells dreadful.
I don't know why, because
My
like
trash doesn't smell that bad.
like the burnables sometimes,
Yeah.
because like we don't cook often, right? So sometimes we have like a little trash there, but especially in the summer, sometimes it just like fucking decomposes.
Yeah.
In the summer,
Yeah.
all right? And
How fucking long are you leaving this there for?
Yeah. Do you not throw it out every week?
no.
Well, there's your problem.
Why
that's-
are you not throwing it out every week?
Because it doesn't get full every week.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Like, you should throw it out.
How do you, as a couple, not get it full every week? I get it full every week.
Yeah,
on
I
my
get
own.
it. I
Well,
get
your
a full,
burnables?
Yeah, every week.
Yeah,
No,
I get
no.
I get ours full every week.
Yeah.
No,
Like we
like-
sometimes have to go through like
Gossip.
2 bags. We have to go through like 2 bags of burnables a week.
Like I don't know. We finish our
Yes.
foods. We
I can't finish my food too. What are you trying to say, guys?
Well, then how are you feel? What does it feel full
Sometimes
of?
shit on Amazon comes in the box. It's burnable stuff, you know, and whatever. Like
That's
packaging.
cardboard.
No. Like sometimes they give material that's like not the polystyrene and it's not bubble wrap. It's like the shit that's burnable.
Yeah. And then like if you for example, like if you get Uber Eats, for example, right?
Yeah.
And like
I get a lot of Uber Eats.
Yeah, like the
Yeah.
boxes and stuff like that, the food scraps, that's all burnable.
I feel very
you
sad.
wash the boxes. Do you not wash your?
Depends on the box, what type of material.
I do not wash the box. I just throw it all in the burnables.
Wow, Joey.
Wait, so why does yours stink?
Yeah,
then?
why does yours stink if you wash?
No, because I don't push the box in the burnables. The burnables is purely just food waste.
Well, that's why it stinks.
Well, of
Wait,
course.
where are you putting the other burnables?
Yeah, where are you putting
What
the
other
box?
burnables are there?
You know, some
Like-
a lot of the food
like
trays
food scraps.
and also, you know, like if you have like certain materials, if it gets oily or if it gets stuff
Yeah.
on it, it's
Wait. So when you order a pizza, do you wash the pizza box when it's done?
Like it goes in with the cardboard. Like
that's not. You're supposed to put it in the burnables, dude.
Is that right? Grease. There's grease in it.
No, because most of the time, if it comes in like a plastic tray or plastic whatever, you can just wash it and then put it in the plastics.
Yeah. No, plastics. Yeah, plastics.
Yeah.
A lot of the food trays aren't like plastic.
They're not plastic anymore. They're like cardboard,
stuff,
paper.
No.
Yeah.
Like styrofoam stuff.
Most of it is plastic. Most of everything I get is plastic.
Most of the stuff I get is styrofoam.
So what happens, right, is unfortunately most of my burnables, like pretty much 90% of my burnables is like pure food waste.
Yeah.
And that we don't have a lot of food waste, right?
Right.
So it just ends up that a lot of food like just accumulates. Not a lot of food, just like a little bit of food accumulates there. And because it's in the summer, it just decomposes so quickly.
Well, that's all the more reason to take it out every week, even if it's not full.
I have like a small bag that's attached to like the kitchen counter.
Yeah.
And because I go through so much tea, and tea decomposes very fast.
Yeah.
That's where all the tea and all the small bits of food that I don't eat goes.
Right.
So that it's a tiny plastic bag that I can tie up and take out every week.
But and
it doesn't smell.
Yeah, I think it's not actually just the food. It's just because it's so humid as well that just like
you should definitely get the thing
like the humidity like condenses inside the bag, so like it ends up that you have like the garbage water at the bottom as well.
Yeah.
You should definitely you can throw out tiny bags. That's allowed.
Huh?
Yeah.
You can. It doesn't have to be big bags of trash.
Yeah.
You can throw out little bags.
You can throw out little like combini bag levels of trash out.
Sometimes you just forget. Like,
again, that sounds like a you problem, bro.
This feels like consulting people on their recycling.
No, I mean, what I was going to say was, so obviously the trash ended up smelling. Like, at least like, sometimes we did throw it out every week in the summer, but it sometimes still just smelled. Right?
I really only get smelly trash when I open the trash.
Yeah. So we had...
Well, in my case, if it, I open up the trash and it like really stinks of like that decomposing smell, I just double bag it. So like I close up the first bag, I get a second bag, and I wrap that up again, and then
I only really do that if it's ripped.
The smell's gone.
Yeah, because what we did was there was this device from Daiso, right? I think it's Daiso or like Amazon.
Already red flags.
There was this device from Daiso.
Stink, be gone.
That was basically like you know that thing you put on the toilet to make it smell nice whenever you flush.
Yeah.
It was like the equivalent of that, but you put it on the bottom of the lid of the garbage can. Yeah. And completely solved the issue. Our bin smelled like great. It smelled fresh.
Japan is the only country on earth that gives a shit what its shit smells like.
It smelled fresh, and I was like, great, this is a fucking amazing device. Oh my god, this has just saved me. This has made my kitchen like actually pleasant to be in.
Yeah.
Until about like a month in, when we needed to take out the trash, and we noticed that there were a lot of flies. Like I don't know where the flies came from.
You never know where the flies come from.
I didn't know where the flies came from.
Yeah, you had a lot of flies. I remember this.
Yeah, and I was like, where are these flies coming from, and why are they gathering all around the bin? Because this never happened before, right? And so Cine opens the lid, and there's like a few. We can see like literally like a few fly eggs on the lid cover, and I was like, what the fuck? How did this get here? And then I had to wash it, right? Obviously, because Sydney was scared of it, so I had to wash it. And then I was like, okay, I got to take off the nice smelling thing. Take it off, and okay, so it's like a rectangle. It's like a rectangle patch, and I took off the rectangle patch. And the entire patch was filled with eggs. I had like an entire patch of fly eggs that were just covered because of this one patch. So this nice smelling patch, this nice smelling patch,
I'm gonna throw up.
This nice smelling patch had just attracted all the fucking flies in the vicinity. I have no idea. I have no fucking idea.
Daiso, you got to do something about that shit.
And
bro.
like I had to fucking quarantine the place. My god. Like the thing was like
I would throw the trash can out.
Yeah,
the thing was like fucking Chernobyl. Like I had to quarantine the entire kitchen.
Hazmat on.
That's so disgusting.
Yeah, yeah, dude. Like I don't know what it is. Like it doesn't matter if you have like the cleanest kitchen in the world. I don't know where the fuck these flies are coming from. They're just like it's like the kitchen is a respawn point for some of these fucking flies. Like they just appear out of thin air. It's like I am here now. Time to terrorize.
Yeah, this was like you know in like a Junji Ito manga where you turn the panel and you see like the monster.
Oh,
that was it when I like shredded off that fucking patch.
Shut the fuck up! Stop! You're gonna make me throw up, please.
It's like a page turn jump scare.
Stop!
Like, oh my god!
To talk about something more pleasant, though, going back to laundry.
Yeah.
Like I've already like I remember when I moved out.
I opened up my laundry and there was flies.
I know. I remember moving out of my mum's place. I was just like, laundry, all you need to put is a bit of detergent there and laundry is done. My God, I didn't know how fucking OP fabric softener was until I started doing my own laundry.
Yeah,
like not many people talk about it, but my God, fabric softener is one of the is a life hack that actually works. You know?
I literally do like the 2 shots of vodka meme with my
2 shots of fabric softener.
Honestly, I go through detergent so slowly.
It's like 1 cup of vodka, and it's like the whole fucking jug I put in. I know it's bad for your clothes, but I don't give a shit. It's so comfy.
Yeah, I put a tiny amount in, and it works.
Because like I feel like with clothes, and especially with your bed covers, like I don't know how people sleep without not putting fabric softener on their bed covers and bed sheets and stuff. Yeah,
true. I want to be in that maximum comfort, man.
Damn.
I want to be embraced.
You want to be embraced.
I want to be embraced. It's like a light hug from your mom.
You don't want to sleep naked.
Exactly.
You don't want to sleep naked.
I want my nutsack to feel the fabric softness.
I want my nutsacks to be embraced.
I want them to be cradled by my sheets. Bathed in the god's liquid known as fabric softener. I can't wait. It's going to be weird, though. It's going to be weird coming back.
Yeah. Are you guys excited?
Yeah, of course.
I mean,
I'm not excited for all the quarantining we have to do, but...
I mean, it's been, what, like a full... almost 2 years now, right? Since you guys were in the UK last?
Haven't seen anyone. It's weird.
Yeah.
It's weird. I've never gone 2 years without seeing my family. Yeah, it is a massive pain in the ass to travel right now. But,
I like just seeing all the paperwork you guys have to do to get through it. It's like,
Jesus Christ. Like getting out of the country seems pretty simple and easy. It's getting back in the country. That is, that sounds... we're gonna save our experiences for when we actually come back from third-hand experiences.
Needless to say, we're dreading
it. Actually sounds like a prison camp. I'm not joking. Like my mate who went back in. The experience he told me sounded like a prison camp, and then he sent me an article of some of the Olympic athletes that had to come in the country and had to quarantine.
Yeah.
And they literally also said that prison camps were probably would probably be better treated in prison camps than they were in like the quarantine hotels that they were in.
Yikes.
Well, I'm gonna read a lot of manga.
Just stock up on all the manga, man. Like, dude, you can finally catch up on One Piece.
Yeah.
While you're in quarantine, just read
Yeah.
One Piece, man.
Yeah.
Do it.
Hoping I don't gain too much weight, because God knows I'm just going to eat and drink all the time when I'm back. So
yeah, I know.
You should like weigh yourself before, just as an experiment.
I don't want to know. I don't.
You should.
I know.
I want to know.
Fuck.
It's going to be like Christmas holidays all over again.
Exactly.
Christmas holidays, like it is. I don't know. Like, do you guys gain weight during the Christmas holidays?
Oh, of course, yeah.
I gain weight generally.
Yeah.
I breathe near a McDonald's and I gain weight.
Hopefully you guys make it back all right. I mean, I'm sure it'll be all right. Because, like...
Hope so.
Yeah, I hope so.
The first thing I'm going to do is go to a fucking Nando's. I'm not even joking. Like, before I hug my mum, before I say hello, before I see the family, get myself to a Nando's.
It's like, Mum, hold on a second.
I'm going to go to Greg's, get a vegan sausage roll.
Vegan.
And a Tesco meal deal. Perhaps 2, maybe.
Oh, wow. Spoiling yourself.
Treat yourself.
Because I get...
Because I'm an adult.
Do I want a normal portion size? No, don't think I will. I think I'll get whatever the fuck I want.
And then I'll cry. Because I'll cry when I have to when I realize that there's no good food options.
I think I'm gonna miss Japan a lot more than I think I will.
Yeah,
I think so. Like you guys, I reckon like you guys will obviously, have that like great rush of like, I'm back home, I'm seeing my family, I'm seeing my mates, but then you'll realize like, man, there's just so much shit to do in Japan.
I am looking forward to ordering a coffee in English. That's very exciting. Very exciting time.
I am like looking forward to going to a Tesco's, which is our Combinis, and also doing that in English and having the clerk respond to me in
having
English.
an English conversation with another person.
Just like having like being asked if I want a plastic bag. and order fukuro. Yeah, that'll be nice. That'll be nice.
Yeah, they'll be like, do you want to buy? I'll be like, you don't like this. Sorry. No, I'm good.
Suica.
Yeah, I've got to realize I haven't paid with my card in so long. In the UK, you just tap it.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for that. That'll be fun.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh yeah, that's the thing.
You just
Tap and go.
Oh my! Well, I actually can't do that straight away because
your card expired.
all my cards are expired.
Oh, shit.
All my UK cards are expired.
Big rip.
Yeah, I'm lucky I have a bit of UK cash on me because I've only got my Japanese card on me right now, but it's not either Visa or MasterCard, which is just the two companies that everyone else uses. It's like JCB or something like that, which I've only ever heard in Japan.
Yeah, that's only in Japan, yeah.
And I don't think anywhere
Japan
else
Credit
accepts
Bureau.
it.
Yeah. Is that, I thought it was Japan Central Bank.
I thought it was Japan Credit
I
Bureau.
don't know. It's
Whatever.
Japan something, so it
Yeah,
doesn't work outside of Japan.
It's all nonsense.
It's all nonsense.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully, I mean, luckily,
Wait,
I guess the good thing is that, like, yeah, since it will be 6 weeks, we're gonna have a lot to talk about next episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully, if you'll know everything's gone smoothly, if Trash Taste is uninterrupted.
Yeah,
exactly.
If one of us gets stuck or for some reason, rip Trash Taste schedule.
How's it going to feel for you, Joey? Not being in, not having a Trash Taste record every week.
I mean, September is just going to be a very like slow month for me. I guess it's going to be weird waking up on a Tuesday morning being like, wait, I don't have to go to the office. It's not a work day today. What the fuck?
True.
Yeah, but I think like for me, because I'm not going to go back to Australia because I don't want to go through that whole process. But I am going to go see my family in Japan, who I haven't seen in 2 years.
Nice,
so that's going to
nice.
be nice to finally catch up with them because they're
Very
all
nice.
vaccinated now.
Fuck yeah.
So yeah, it's going to be nice to just like live like how I used to live like 3 years ago when everything was a lot more simple. And I could just
I'm
go and see my family.
waiting for the day until they actually let tourists in here.
Oh, dude.
Well, yeah, I think that's why I want to go back now because I'm like, I don't see it happening anytime soon. If
I don't see it happening
if
this
I go
year.
now, I'm fine if it takes another 2 years.
Yeah,
You know,
definitely.
I've
Do you
had
think
my
it's going to
fill.
take 2 years?
No, but if it does, it does.
It
Yeah,
could.
yeah.
It
You
could.
know, I don't
we
know how long it's going to take.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
But anyway, I guess we'll wrap it up there.
we'll wrap it up
Yeah.
here. Hey, look at all these patrons though. They're
Thank
pretty
you.
cool.
Thank you for supporting
Look at
us.
them.
Thank you.
Amazing patrons. Hey guys, if you want to support us on Patreon and support the show, then make sure to go to Patreon, patreon.com/trashtaste. Also follow us on Twitter, send us your memes on the subreddit, and if you hate our face, listen to us on Spotify. But yeah, guys, have a
I
good...
feel gross now after hearing that fly story. Sorry. I feel disgusting. And I feel sick too. I'm surprised I made it for this episode.
Yeah.
I feel gross having to say it. Like I literally
Yeah.
think back and I'm just. I needed to tell someone because
No, you didn't.
I'm
You
still
didn't need to tell
scarred.
me.
It was like a fucking horror
Here you
story.
go, Junji Ito. Free story for you.
I
man.
interrupted you, Joey. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, like, hope you guys have a good trip.
I hope so too.
yeah.
I hope so
See you
too.
guys in 6 weeks, and we'll see you guys next week.
Next
Yeah.
week.
Yeah.
Nothing has changed.
Like
Nothing
nothing
has
has changed.
If we did our job right
Yes.
and we get back okay.
And we are in the country, okay, and
Yeah.
no problems
And
happen.
not
Which
dead.
Fingers
touch
crossed.
wood.
Yeah,
I
fingers
fucking
crossed.
slammed that wood. but, touch
Fucking
wood.
slam wood. All right, guys. Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye.